I've put myself in Neo Tokyo tonight with button I just clicked and did not set up any sort of green screen for this.
I'm very surprised. Apart from when my chair moves like into the background, it's doing a pretty good job for just like pushing one button.
Yeah, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Also, streaming since 1 in the afternoon, so we're definitely in on the Coke with coffee action.
I cleaned the house virtually all day for like the post Thanksgiving, like all the dishes that I had left from like cooking an entire Thanksgiving meal for the first time ever. Like I've cooked like a dish for people's things or like brought over the thing, and it was the first year I made everything. If we don't count the fact that last year our roommate started cooking dinner, got too drunk and panicked, and then I had to finish everything. But like,
Yeah, dinner. That's what you panic over.
yeah,
Everything's a crisis.
yeah. Well,
All right.
yeah. Are these going to be discussions related to this Japanese anime I keep hearing about?
Yeah, we're both learning about it. We're both new.
Yeah, yeah, never, yeah.
And so we're just Wikipedia hunting,
Hmm.
trying to figure out what these kids are so interested in with their anime and manga.
Penny Dude 300 first time chatter saying I painted terrain and started my purple sun today. Nice, nice.
Big.
Purple
Purple Sun
pastel.
is annoying to put together and slightly painful depending on how you do it. But that's
Yeah,
just during the assembly phase.
get rid of the knobbies that you're supposed to squish together and just glue it, and you'll be fine. Or you could use the knobbies, I guess. I've put mine. I put two together, and one has like you can see the seams in, and the other one you can't. So it was built already. Just started painting it. I mean, save the time. Japanese animation, Japanimation, if you will. Yeah, yeah. Big chat gang. Yeah, big
Oh, I
love.
have a message. I have an image to send you here.
Hmm. Where are you sending it on?
Heavy admin.
Ugh, in Discord means I have to minimize.
I uninstalled Facebook a while ago, so it wouldn't be on Facebook.
Twitter is
Oh yeah.
Neo Tokyo is about to explode.
This,
Akira.
everyone here, by the way, everyone listening, this image that you're looking at right now is the first anime I ever saw or was exposed to as a child. This is the first one.
Hmm. Right on. Is that your hand physically holding it?
It is not my hand physically holding. I just added that for you know,
Mm-hmm.
production value, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This, for the Zoomers in the audience, this is what is known as a VHS. It goes into a VCR. It plays YouTube videos that have been pre-recorded onto a band of magnetic strip, both sound and video. And that sticker on it is true. I distinctly remember that one. If you look at the sticker on it, the Not for Kids sticker, that's what Blockbuster Video, for the Zoomers in the audience, Blockbuster Video used to be a video store. Videos used to be what they call movies.
Called
And
videos.
I rented this shit from Blockbuster Video in the year of our Lord, 1995, maybe 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was 12 at the time. Had a friend pick it up, of age.
Right,
And
because it wasn't for kids.
it wasn't for kids. You can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I had to sit in the parking lot as if we were doing a drug deal, but it wasn't a drug deal. It was much more dangerous. It was adult anime, which will ruin you forever. And
And
it had
has,
the little
and
Not for
has,
Kids
yeah.
sticker on it. And I'm like, what is this anime? What is this? What is this thing? Basically did the Jack Skellington song. What is this? Right?
Yeah, right.
And I watched it. I'm like, this is fucking brutal, actually. Like, dudes get shot up. I'm 12. What is this? Except literally not the meme. Like, actually, I'm 12. What is this?
Right. It's a cartoon.
I thought cartoons were for children.
Yeah, yeah. So CJ Ubusta dropped the bomb here in chat, like detonating 20 gift subs, one upping once more SJ Arcade. So the battle of the oil baronies continues. Like, so thank you both for all those gift subs. Everyone in chat, enjoy those emojis. Be sure to especially spam Heywoah's chat with Nagash. That joke doesn't work when you're actually here. So there's usually a second part, like about how much you love Nagash and how much you stan him, and so that they need to use my Nagash emotes in your stream. But it doesn't work when you're here.
Oh, okay.
It's falls flat, falls flat. And I don't know how many more ruby rods are going to show up on screen, but it's making trying to do the intro little awkward.
Look, they get what they pay for. They, on my stream, they wanted 20 wows interrupting anything I had to say, and by gum, they paid for them. That's what they get.
Right, you get the ooh like from fucking Ruby Rod interrupting me. Thank you so much for that. My first anime was Macross, and I watched it. I mean, we're talking like 90, probably like 93 or 94. I had an uncle who was what I call like the first guard nerd. So like we're sort of like the second generation, second generation of like what I would consider like true nerds, right? Like if you go back in time, you have like the sort of original Trekkers, original Star Wars fans, right? That sort of first guard of nerdery. So my uncle was like, he showed me V, like the old like direct-to-TV movie series with the fucking like aliens, and that it's still dope, still awesome. I still have fond memories of it. Like he showed me the original V, like so this is and he had like Macross, and on VHS, like I watched it. I didn't know it was anime. If like I had no concept of anime. I was a little bit too young. It was just a cartoon, like Thundercats or like the other stuff I was watching at the time. So, thought it was awesome. Consciously pursuing anime happened a little bit later on for me, but I think they'll have like a rough chronology.
Yeah.
I gotta hipster just a tiny bit. My first exposure to anime was not Toonami. I had already seen like fan subs of DBZ and Dragon Ball from VHS trading clubs, like where you have like VHS was like contraband, and you had these like mailer clubs where you like mail to each other and shit like that, like your contraband, and you had to have something good to trade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They were illegal imports and often fan dubbed and fan subbed before there was even such a word for that.
Mm-hmm. And I remember watching I watching like Dragon Ball Z and not liking it very much because it didn't have a character I liked. Like it just that was it. That was the end of it. And then like when Toonami happened, like I love fucking Yu Yu Hakusho. Like I love the shit out of Yu Yu Hakusho. And so when like Hiei, by the way, I stand Hiei. When DBZ came out, I'd already seen like Yu Yu Hakusho, which I believe chronologically was released after certainly Dragon Ball. It might have paralleled DBZ's original release. I don't remember where that all lines up. Dr. Wikipedia could help us out here.
92.
92. Yeah. So I had been watching Yu Yu. Yeah, I'd been watching Yu Yu Hakusho through the VHS swaps. And like the occasional DBZ worked its way in there, and I'm like, what is this? This sucks. I don't like the main character. He is stupid, and like the main bad guy that I started to like, Vegeta, lost too much. So like my little kid brain didn't like it, but Hiei was always a badass, and like I can't even remember the main character's name in Yu Yu Hakusho. I do remember Kuwabara because his name is hilarious intrinsically. But I can't remember the main character's name with his fucking spirit gun, and yeah. So that was kind of my exposure. And now that the ooze have stopped, what is up, chat gang? I am of course the magical Mr. Mephisto. I'm joined today by a man who needs no introduction, the inimitable Heywoah. How's it going, my dude?
Yo, I have put a backdrop of Neo Tokyo today because that's what we're talking about. Also, the year is 19XX. All right. 20 years after CJ Yobusta drops the atomic bomb, Neo Mephisto is a sprawling metropolis known only as the Bone Zone.
Metal.
Ghost in the Shell, let's go. A fine one too. A little farther along in the chronology, but a fine one too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Akira, first anime I've ever seen, was actually 12 Law. Um, a few years later, I think 97 was when Toonami started,
Mhm.
which weekly late night began showing people, for the most part, really shitty anime and then some good stuff, depending. A lot of DBZ,
Mhm.
a lot of Pokemon, a lot of Sailor Moon. And for whatever reason, I believe it went in order Sailor Moon and then right after it DBZ, which was a bit of a clash.
Well, Sailor
Outlaw Star was on. There's a bunch of. I mean,
uh,
it went from 97 to like 2006 or
Be
something like that.
Bebop was on there later
Yeah,
on.
Code Geass was on
Trigun,
there.
like Trigun, if you want to pronounce it.
Trigun, I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, Trigun was on there. Like, I don't know if they ever did Ava. Maybe I don't know.
I don't think so, but maybe.
But if it's not obvious to anyone just now parachuting in, we're going to be talking about Animu, that thing them kids like. Y'all donated for this during the Rantathon 2021. So here it is. We're gonna do this. We're doing this now. We're gonna talk. We're gonna let the we're gonna let our power levels show a little bit.
Yeah, SG Arcade brings up a good point. Sailor Moon was even heavily edited, by the way.
Mm.
Um, Sailor Moon was heavily edited. DBZ was as well. Power Rangers was heavily edited. I know you know that Yellow Ranger, not a girl, right? But they decided, hey, can't have kids seeing that. This is a girl in the American version. There was a lot of heavy editing going on. Won't someone please think of the children?
Someone earlier on like asked, does Power Rangers count as a first exposure to anime? Very technically, no, but it was certainly a bridge. Like I know entire like nerds who like we ended up
I mean, it was
meeting.
live action anime in all other ways, right?
Right. I mean, it's tokusatsu, right? By the time uh, you know, there are entire groups of people I know who got into anime kind of secondarily via either like obsessions with Godzilla or like the tokusatsu, Saiban, stuff like that. Like literally, that's how they got into like sort of like Japanese culture. It was, and so like they count. They're like parallel bridges crossing the same like the same river, in. So technically no, but I do count it. It's just because anime must be animated. I guess I don't have a strong definition of what anime is. Like I'm not gonna die on the hill whether Ruby or Avatar are anime or not, or some like Korean joints that get lumped in with anime. Like because it is sort of transcended country of origin. I think at this point where it's like it's very much
It began as a word, and then the word has been expanded over time. I'm not particularly interested in definitions.
right. But this is how you know I'm not a true otaku because I'm supposed to have a real opinion on that and like get into fist fights at like anime conventions when people call like
Yeah.
Avatar anime.
Avatar was animated by a Korean studio,
Right.
so if you want to call it anime, you may.
Hmm.
I don't particularly care. Yeah, anime is a state of mind. Yeah, it's a feeling. It's like being a boomer. It
Hmm.
has nothing to do with your generation nor your age. It has to do with how you are acting right now.
Right. Right.
Speaking of booming, for the timeline, it went to Kira, and then I'm like, oh shit, this stuff is hot. I'm in. Let me watch Ninja Scroll.
Oh,
Basically
Ninja Scroll.
all the not for kids stuff I could possibly find at
Hmm.
the age of 12, 13.
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell, and then I fell upon some Miyazaki stuff. The first of which would be Nausicaa, which I'm like, oh, okay, so this is more than just like not for kids stuff. These are actual movies. These are actual films, and they're better than normal films sometimes. Not always, but it's a genre.
The tithe has come.
Oh shit.
Will you pay?
What?
Germ has just paid the tithe.
Will you, sir?
$6.66. Fucking metal. Oh, big, he says.
Oh, big. Got to get yourself a Metal Slug 3. Like, I love that meme.
Mm-hmm.
That generation of anime had some fucking insane violence. Yes, it did. It was extremely violent, almost flamboyantly violent, I would describe it as.
Mm-hmm.
Super sexual, a lot of it, at least the stuff that I like. Also, I'm 12. I never heard of that. And it was just pushing. It was seeing what you could do with animation. Really, how adult can we get it? How like a normal movie can we get it? What can we do with it?
Yeah.
And it was a lot of times it was very eye rolling, for cringe reasons and for not cringe reasons. But yeah, hilariously violent might be a good way of describing it.
Well, I mean that made it sort of like taboo, and because it was taboo, of course teenagers were going to latch onto it, right? Like fucking of course. Like it just made it like, we kind of talked about this a little bit during like the horror episodes from Mephistober this year, about how there was this the sort of controversy around like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, especially in England, because like their censorship is like even.
Well, they had downright censorship laws. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had a school of films that were coming out basically trying to be illegal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was an underground independent film scene around that.
Yeah, there's a really famous story about their like sort of them going in to try to edit Texas Chainsaw Massacre to make it like allowed to be sold in England on VHS, direct to VHS markets, right? And they only had like 2 scenes that actually went against their censorship laws, because the entire thing is like an exercise in what is that? You show 2 different shots, and like they what is implied between the 2 contrasting shots? What's that film theory called?
Like an elliptical edit, probably.
Yeah, yeah. So they
implying implications. Yeah.
Like not Schopenhauer effect, something like that. Like
you're thinking of the Kuleshov.
That's effect. It. The Kuleshov effect.
It's a little different, but it's basically the famous example is, I think it was one of the Hitchcock Presents where he talks about it, but it's like you show a man staring at the camera, and the actor is just supposed to pretty much blank face, stare at the camera and not really act. And depending on what you put first, and then show his face, and then cut back to the next thing, people start to impress upon that actor like the things that they think he would be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so you put like a bowl of soup, and then you show him, and then the bowl of soup, and you're like, he looks so hungry. What a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you show a young girl, and then him, and then a young girl, what a lecherous person. And this is known as the Kuleshov effect.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was mostly just like a lot of implied stuff. So like they'd show like the girl scared in like just a scene, and then the following scene would just be like some guy like just regularly butchering some meat. And like the take, like not even like or like they'd show like a human skull, and then they'd show him butchering meat, and like so it was just like that's where all the fear and tension just came from, like all these like a lot of implied stuff. I think like there's not even like the violence is cut. They even to save money they cut away from the violence, and they just show you like
unhonored money saving technique that you don't show something happening because you can't afford to show it.
Yeah,
you show the beginning of it.
Yeah, you show the axe come up and then
reaction to it, and there it is.
Yep.
This is also a big budget way to save money on your expensive actor that you purchased, so that you can put the actor's name on the cover of the VHS or DVD or Blu-ray or movie poster or whatever. Because big names sell seats, and they always have. This is why you have big name actor in a role that totally seems not to fit them at all. Mm-hmm. That's why they do it. Mm-hmm. Because you'll go and see it if big name is on it, and you won't if it's not. And that's just how everyone works, except for you. You're special. Chat, talking to you, the discerning viewer.
Yeah, intelligent, right? The chat gang's smarter than the average.
If do you want Tom Cruise on set in front of the camera for 7 hours, or do you want him to come in to stand in one place and kind of deliver lines, and then have him record something later, and then just show someone's face reacting to his dialogue and having it come in on overdub? Mm-hmm. Way cheaper.
Yeah. So I went on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tangent just to say that like I feel like the VHS market, the direct to home movie, and the taboo, like these are parallels between why I feel anime was so like in the 80s and 90s really like how it grew. And it's the same thing paralleled, like I think between horror and anime, that they basically saved the home box office, the VHS market and stuff like that. I mean, these taboo genres, these underclasses. They always have a way of just exploding. And now anime, to even think of it as like an underclass or a taboo or out there at all, is just like so banally wrong. It's just no. It's just everywhere, right? We've
Yeah.
gone full circle to where anime has like influenced everything out from it.
I would say in like 1994, 1995,
Mhm.
when I went to school and talked about this anime that I saw, no one in the entire school had heard of the word anime.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I mean, even the normies know, right? There's
Right.
even anime made on purpose for normies. It's called Bleach.
Yeah. Those horror,
Never
violent
heard of it.
animes literally felt illegal to watch. So like, I remember Boogie Pop Phantom wasn't quite like. I remember like that having a little bit of a mystique to it because
Well, there was a Serial Experience Lane. That was probably the first one that I
Yeah.
could think of.
Normies
The
free.
original. Also, Serial Experience Lane, super boring for like people without patience.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I've always liked psychological horror that other people think are boring. That's just I know I'll like it if that's the
I mean,
complaint.
no Persona without Serial Experiments Lane. Like
Oh,
it's
for sure.
right. Like Persona is just like SE Lane over like just kind of over and over again. But Doctor Dead Ache Vandal, Doctor Dead Ache Vandal. Good name. It's called Bleach because those who aren't normies feel like their eyes are being sprayed with bleach as they watch it.
It's called Bleach because white people like it. Get on.
No. So yeah, like anime. We were talking about the timeline, right? I derailed us
Oh yeah,
twice now.
and then Toonami came out. There was some good stuff there. Mostly, I mean, I recall back in the like, okay, here's Heywoah in like ninth grade or probably the first year of high school or whatever it is. Like we're playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 on the PlayStation 1.
Listening to Ace
Going
of
going
Spades,
to
like yeah,
yeah,
fucking Motorhead in the soundtrack, like
listening to Tool
yeah,
and
oh yeah,
stuff in the shitty car driving to the snowboarding hill afterwards, coming back, and then Dragon Ball Z is on, and we're all just like making fun of it because Dragon Ball Z, even at the time, was a goddamn joke, and everybody had fun making fun of it.
oh yeah.
And this was the '90s.
I remember distinctly like E-Bombs Worlds making fun of Dragon Ball Z, like videos like the
Yeah,
the
it was
whole
closer to the 2000s for sure. But yeah,
yeah, okay, but like Buttlord GT and stuff like that coming out, like like
Lord
like
GT. The famous manga written by the literature by the master of literature who would later go on to
the
write.
literary titan.
Yeah, who would later go on to pen. Um, what was that? And they turned it into a movie too. Like he got kind of famous actually from it. Scott Pilgrim, I think.
Was it really the same
Yeah,
guy?
same guy. Yeah,
Jesus
the guy who
Christ.
did Buttlord GT did Scott Pilgrim, and then they made a movie out of it. I liked the manga more personally. If we're gonna,
Damn
you know,
it, I didn't even
ultimate hipster.
I didn't know what
Yeah,
Buttlord
Scott
GT
Pilgrim
was
movie
until I
was
met
okay.
you. You visited that upon me, that gem upon
Um,
me in college.
Scott Pilgrim movie was all right, but I liked the manga better. But even that was just all right. Buttlord GT was way better.
I feel like Scott Pilgrim is like a sort of like a when reading it back now, like from with my future perspective, it feels like such an incel like targeted fantasy, you know. And I'm just like,
Right, but it's the real lived experience of everyone at that time at that age for
sure,
sure.
sure,
So
sure,
so
yeah.
there was also that.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to harsh on Toonami because I feel like Toonami for that, like for the VHS club, you know, going to Family Video, renting Ninja Scroll to watch it on the weekends with my buddy Sam, and stuff like that, and just like fucking laugh at the Geyser of Blood scene when the dude's head gets chopped off, and just like to just laugh at it as a bunch of like fucking teenagers or whatever. Like Toonami when that happened, we were finally like you were finally able to talk about anime to other people that knew at all what the fuck you were talking about. And I remember that moment distinctly, like happening or clicking, and just going like, kind of like, thank goodness for Toonami. It just
Yeah, it got a lot of people into the concept of anime so that they could then go and find better ones, which is an important part in the step. Like you're introduced to it. Usually, your introduction to it isn't that great. Sometimes it is, right? Like I don't know. It depends on whatever first anime you've ever seen, but it at least gets the hook where it's like, okay, this thing is possible to be interesting or good,
mm-hmm.
and then eventually you end up watching Cowboy Bebop or Evangelion or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what an example nowadays would be because I am very old and I haven't kept up with anime so much.
It's Crunchy. People have Crunchyroll or Netflix, and they watch like Attack
Yeah,
on
and there's
Titan
just
or
like anime section on there. Imagine that, right?
yeah, Bleach. I know it was like kind of like the new DBZ for a while there. Like it was just Bleach.
It was a shonen thing, like Naruto was
Sho-
the same thing.
yeah, Shonen or Magic Girl. I mean, those are going to be your two, like Shonen, Magic Girl, the occasional like slice of life if you're like boring, and you like love Hina and shit. Um, there's like a fucking blast from the past. No,
I don't remember any of my embarrassing anime names that
Azumanga
were all
Daioh.
slice of life. No, I mean we watched that for a meme that one time because I was directing in real life even then.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's brain spike Azumanga Daioh back and forth with Saishi Heiki Kanojo back and forth. So
Also
every
known
other
as
episode,
Saikano. Yeah.
yeah, Saikano, where every other episode is like brutally depressing and then just like some
Uh,
happy slice of life, like funny, meme, haha, cutesy thing.
Well, like Azumanga. Well, it was like a 3-1. You had to watch it because you had to watch like 3 episodes of
Yeah,
Azumanga
because there are
Daioh.
a million episodes of
Yeah,
that one. So
yeah. So
yeah,
it was like a 3-1 and going back and forth. And
but
Saikano
it
is still.
definitely affected your viewing of Azumanga Daioh. It made everything much creepier.
But that's right. And also, I remember there's like Saikano was like the one series that like if the main character had just died in the bombings in the beginning of the show, it would have been a happier series.
Yeah, and the world they were in would have been a happier place as well.
Right.
Everything would have been better if the main character had just died. But it was also kind of poignant, I suppose, in its messaging, which is kind of interesting if you look into it too much. But I won't get in.
Yeah. Mecha, and I gotta lay my cards on the table. I am a sucker for sad robots. Like
I'm gonna lay my cards on the table. I've never really watched mecha anime. I just skipped it. I skipped
Weird.
Transformers. I skipped Gundam. Every different version of it. Evangelion was basically the only mecha anime I think I've ever seen. So Gurren Lagann, I guess. But yeah, for whatever reason, I've never really watched those shows.
I wasn't the biggest Gundam stan. I liked the there was the OVA, I think it was called like Infinite Waltz or something like that I enjoyed. And then there's the one like that's just weird tongue in cheek where it was just big robots fighting each other. Not my usual enjoyment of big robs solving big probs. It was it was the one where like they actually have like a magic girl transformation sequence, get inside the mecha and punch people for real except the mecha. I can't even remember which one it was. I liked that one though.
Oh wait, what's that comedy that's actually funny?
Full Metal Panic is
Fullmetal Panic, yeah,
amazing.
it's technically plus Fumofu.
Fumofu, and then they did the
Like,
TSR a little bit later on. Yeah,
that's like technically a mecha anime-ish, I guess. And it was, I don't know.
It's
I
more
haven't
of a-
seen it since. It's probably aged poorly, but at the time,
It-
I remember because the one thing that never really got me, and we're gonna probably agree on this, I think, is that there's anime humor, right?
mm-hmm.
And
The
it is
nose. Yeah,
it is like totally failing to be humor. It is the cringiest. Like something will happen, and you'll be in a room, and you can something that's just like super cringe. It's the opposite of funny, and you're like trying to like a turtle move back into your shell. You're just like, oh, I'm so uncomfortable. This is not funny at all, and I think it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody just fucking cracking up behind you. And you're like, all right, found the anime fan. Found the
well, I mean, it's because it's this weird sort of like dirty old man humor that's like hyper, like flamboyant about it, and it just
flamboyant, gross, loud. It's the loud is funny meme that isn't funny when you look at all the vines or TikToks or something where they're supposed to be It's like a you laugh, you lose challenge, and the thing is just loud. Like it's not funny, it's just fucking loud, and that's kind of like anime humor for the most part. But Fumofu, I thought was actually funny.
Well, Fumofu, there's. I mean, I accidentally own all of Full Metal Panic. We're not gonna
Oh, yeah.
we're not gonna talk about that. No, FMP was like one of my favorite series at that time period. And when I saw Fumofu, I got it on my HK, my Hong Kong like DVDs, you know, and I remember just like being in tears every single episode. Now, of course, in the manga, the Fumofu stuff actually happens interspersed throughout the sort of like main canon of the first series.
Oh, it's like a palate cleanser, in other words, between the serious bits. Okay.
Yeah, like yeah. So like it's and when they got their sort of like studio release, they kind of stripped back a lot of the humor. They kept in some of it, like with like the main character following Chidori, and like he dives out the moving train and just tells her it's a coincidence. Like, so fucking hilarious. It's still funny to this day to me, where he's like following Chidori and fucking dives out the train. Just coincidence.
All right, so it's just funny little palate cleansers in between your normal thing. It's sort of
Yeah.
like the guy getting eaten by sharks in The Watchmen over and over.
Yeah. Well, there's like
And
there's the
finally
scene where he gets dressed up as a teddy bear, so that I think
Yeah.
so that like Chidori doesn't know that he's like trying to protect her or bodyguard her and stuff, and he's just dressed up as like the fucking Fumofu bear like thing with like a fucking assault rifle, and he's just like, oh man, it's so funny. I don't know why. I'm remembering it now and laughing.
Okay, so that was actual funny anime, which is rare. What was the least funny anime that you can think of that was trying to be funny?
I don't know. Pick something Chuck Dave liked, like,
Something Chuck Dave. Yeah, honestly, probably.
uh,
What's that super crazy one that has to do with balls all the time?
Excel
Aliens-
Saga, I know is one.
Was it Excel Saga?
Excel Saga is like it was the series that came out after FLCL basically, and or Footy Kitty, and was like this just weird space mech robot, kind of pervy, like just. It felt like a
Oh,
beta
it's
test
more
for
than
Gurren
kinda,
Lagann.
brother.
It felt like a beta test for Gurren Lagann, and like it just wasn't the best. But a lot of people loved it at the time. So
I'm sure I think I have seen Excel Saga. I can't remember anything from it.
my experience is exactly the same. Like I barely remember it. Like so much. So the Toonami
There was a
period,
bunch
which
of like high school hijinks, gender bender stuff. My one friend Greg was like super into that.
Mhm.
Unironically, the kind of guy who would wear like a kimono in real life, like that kind of white guy otaku, right? He's like, oh man, you gotta watch. Try to pick one. You gotta watch I My Me Strawberry Eggs or something. I'm like, bro, please.
yeah,
Please
Yeah.
stop.
yeah, Fruits Basket, like Ken song.
Yeah, Greg's son.
Uh,
Oh,
it's funny. Like so, we had like sort of the Toonami era, which for
you
me was
wasted your time going to parties and talking to girls while I studied the blade. Has 4 katanas at their house.
the Toonami era was for me like that would have been high school, middle school into high school. I think Toonami started in like 7th or 8th grade for me, and then like it carried through high school. And then like college was that's going to be the early 2000s. That's when I of course met you. That's when I joined. My nickname comes from Mephisto is a holdover from our anime club, Otaku Anonymous. So that is where I gained my nickname, based on a character from Demon City Shinjuku and Diablo 2 boss. So, and
A good farm, actually.
was that?
Meph is a decent farm, actually.
Yeah. You'd get your
You're a
MF
sorceress,
items.
you can shoot him without him being able to activate. Had pretty decent drop tables.
Yep. Yeah.
If you're not into spending way more time to go after bail runs.
Yeah. I mean, you could churn out like MF runs like very very quickly, and the council little like pseudo council dudes that he had in his room also had like decent drop rates too. Or one of them did. The others were a waste of time.
Yeah, and there was one armor. Well, it had a high chance of being one of those armor stands that on the
Yep.
far left of the map,
Yep.
and that one had a higher than normal chance of dropping specific class items like the druid helms and stuff. And so you would open that one and then leave.
Mhm.
Oh, D2. Ooh.
SJ Arcade, this podcast will be 10 hours and I will stay. Yeah,
Oof.
yeah. So there's also a Commodore 64 game, and when I'm lying to people, I say my name was based off of it, but it's not. It's like, so if I were to lie to you, it was two factors. It was the Diablo thing, and it was Demon City Shinjuku, the dude with the red trench coat. His name was Mephisto. He constantly waxed poetic about Pandora's box, and he may or may not have been a demon himself.
I think I was him because they gave me the name because I probably wasn't conscious the first few months I went to that thing.
I remember the thing to
It was the
do.
worst time.
Yeah, I remember the thing to do for Otaku Anonymous was to show up there, or rather, to not go to it, and then show up drunk way later on was kind of like the thing to do.
Yeah, and then pass out on a couch in the back. And
Yep.
then realize like 3 weeks ago when you wake up one time and the thing isn't over already, they're like, oh yeah, you're officially a member. We've given you a code name on here. Thanks.
It was
Thanks
Tehim.
a lot.
It was Tehim, or the him, right? TH.
Yeah, it was the misspell.
Yeah.
The old typo.
TEH Tehim was your nickname. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So from there, I mean, that was when I hit the wall pretty hard, or not the wall, the opposite. That's where I shifted into overdrive and watched way too much anime. So I'm an insomniac, and one of the best things in the world to put on when you're an insomniac is like a series you can. At the time, we called it brain spiking. You know it. You youngins know it now as binge watching.
As the way everyone consumes all media. Yeah, we were ahead of our time.
Yeah, we were way ahead of our time.
Like, why watch it every week when it comes out when you could just wait and then watch all 294 episodes in a row
all at
while
once.
sleeping once?
Yeah, yeah. So speaking of that, remember when you ran your Inuyasha brain spike?
Yeah, we actually like I think 0 people made it through the whole time. And by the end, there were like 3 people that were kind of asleep because there were so many episodes of Inuyasha and they never fucking got on with it. But we had to do it. Were we playing it on a Dreamcast with burned CDs?
I think
in my
so.
head?
I think so.
In my head, I think that's actually how it was. This is the most early 2000s thing you could possibly be.
We had
A
fucking
bunch of anime people watching Inuyasha on burned CDs in one of those like unzip.
We
It's
had
like
the
50
fucking-
CDs, watching it on a cracked Dreamcast on TV, just as God intended.
Yeah, yep. We had fucking the spools of Memorex like DVRs with
Yeah,
the
DVR plus.
fucking with fucking like the spools. We had a cracked Dreamcast was one of the go-tos. We had a DivX box later on, which was like essentially just like a Red Hat Linux box designed to just store tons of anime on it and watch anime. And because the school we went to, the college we went to, had like the T3 connection or whatever the fuck, like
They had
network.
an internal T3 for their FTP, and so you got to the students. This was before anyone knew anything about piracy, and so you just go on there and find like 7,000 gigabytes of unbelievably copyrighted just everything.
So we had our own internal server.
And people would go on there and just like copy and paste everything in there just for fun, so it would just double it for no reason. Like,
we had like we were basically abusing the internal network to fucking trade anime. So the VHS swapping continued. It was
Yes, Kicker 7, a Dreamcast that we hacked to run Windows on, because it is just a Windows box, and it was one of the ones with a serial number that ended in 0 or 1, which means it's a 99 or a 2001. I mean, and it means that you could just boot it up and run any sort of cracked game. I mean, you could watch anime on the thing. Dreamcast was awesome.
Yeah,
great system.
Yeah, super bass. So
it was the Xbox. I made it into a computer, except earlier than that.
Yeah, this is gonna be my most like me at my most boomer, but like I am Seymour Skinner, like leaning back and saying pathetic to anime kids these days. Like you've got it so easy.
Was it Kurt or was it Kurt or was it Ben Rude who had the Red Hat like toaster potato computer
that was Kurt
turned into a Linux box?
That was Kurt. Yeah.
That was Kurt. Okay.
That was Kurt. Yeah, that was Kurt. Like so, like the format of Otaku Anonymous, if you actually went to it, which I found out via Gamers Guild. So I went to Gamers Guild. So I famously don't like my family, and I sort of ran away from college and never looked back. And so I was that guy who went to college like as early as I possibly could get to the dorms, right? And it was like 2 weeks ahead of the when the first day of class was, or like even a month. Like I don't remember. I was there as soon as I possibly could be. Um, and like I even had to like call up the admin and like to get the early move in approval and everything because that's how much I didn't want to be home. So I did that, and Gamers Guild was one of the only uh, groups that started early. Is there or no Otaku OA and Gamers Guild started early. So I went to OA on accident. I was walking. I went to Gamers Guild, which is our tabletop gaming RPG society, right? I was walking past somebody in the dorm rooms, and Soul Calibur 2 had just come out, like that chunk of time, like that quarter or whatever. And I looked in, and I saw people playing Soul Calibur 2, and I was just like, "Oh, I see you too enjoy like proper video games type thing." They had the Xbox version, I had the PlayStation.
So it wasn't quite proper. It
Yeah.
featured Spawn instead of Heihachi.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
controller instead of the good one, but still, it was a good game.
But yeah, so like I had it, and I mentioned it to
At
them,
least
and
it
they're
wasn't
like,
the stinky GameCube version. I mean, come on.
yeah, right.
Link,
The
really.
lame cube version. Um, so yeah, I saw them playing that and just like looked in. I've never been accused of being a shy human by nature. Looked in, said, "Oh, awesome game is awesome." They struck like we had a conversation. They said, "Oh, are you going?" Then, whilst talking to them, this was the master and Neil.
Oh God, the master, that dude.
So this is the
Boy, I
master.
hope he's doing okay. I don't know anybody. I don't know anything that's happened to anybody that I went to college with, but
I keep in touch
I'm
with
trust
a
you.
couple of them.
All right.
Like I keep in touch with a few of them, mostly via League of Legends, the worst possible way to keep in touch with your friends.
Oof.
The no, so I walked past that, and then I just had a conversation with them long enough to where they're like, "Oh, hey, we're going to Gamers Guild. Want to come?" And I'm like, yeah, sure." Like, so I went with them to Gamers Guild, tabletop RPGs. That's where I met Dave. And then once I met Dave, then he was like the gatekeeper, like or the keymaster, as it were, to all the other nerd like circles.
Yeah,
Uh,
the Omega nerd everything. Yeah.
yeah. So like then he's like, "Oh, come to OA tomorrow," and because OA Otaku Anonymous, this is really funny. The college we went to, they had an official anime club, but the official anime club was a front for the secret anime club called OA, which predated it and was just like fan and underground. They
Well,
made
there was
AA.
an official anime club, but it
Yes,
was cringe because they took it seriously. Then
right.
there was OA for people who actually really did like anime, but they were also kind of awful people, and that was definitely where we belonged
Well, and AA
at
was
the
made
time.
to get funding for the convention. Is what the
Yeah.
whole the OA leadership was like. Well, we need to make an official group, but we don't want to like
But we
because
can't have getting blasted be like the main thing this entire club does, and then sometimes watch anime, I guess.
yeah, it can't be like just getting drunk and showing up with spools of illegally copied and shared and stolen anime. So like AA had to watch like
It was always really weird stuff. Always.
AA had to watch like officially licensed or officially acquired anime. They did have a budget to secure like anime that was coming out and stuff. So like they had Witch Hunter Robin as it was coming out, but like if you were in OA, you'd already seen it the year before because you just watched fan subs that were stolen off
You
the
watched
internet.
a fan sub of it a year ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, fucking ADV shit. Yeah, exactly. So that was so OA. We were in. So yeah, that's how I ended up in OA. That's actually I met Heywoah via the Gamers Guild. I was like the one guy who ran Rifts, and that made me a bit of a novelty to get to know. I guess like this is the one. Have you ever played Rifts? There's the guy who runs Rifts. Go play his game, right? So that's that.
And I'm like, the dude who introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons when I was in 6th grade uh, was like, well, we could play Rifts, but it's really complicated and the game sucks unless you know everything. So let's play D&D instead. And I'm like, oh, I heard about Rifts. I heard the rules are awful, but the setting is great, and it's only good if the GM is really good. Yeah, let's try it.
Do you remember the
And
first Rifts game I ran?
probably not.
You were a Psy Slinger, and Chuck Dave was playing
Was that
a
the space one where I shot Chuck Dave through a gun?
yes.
Like he turned into a bullet. 'Cause
Yeah,
he
he
was
was
a
he was
shaman or
he was a
whatever from
Psy
Phase
Ghost.
World.
He was a Psy Ghost.
Right. And then Ben or Kurt maybe was a machine man. What's that Psyscape race or not Psyscape?
Naruni
Phase
man,
World
a Repo bot. I believe it was Ben was playing a Repo bot, a Naruni Repo bot, right?
I think so, yeah. And then there was another one where there's like a race of living machine people.
That was
From
Spiky,
Phase World. That was Spiky. Okay.
where he was like in a mech suit and he just like omni-mined the mech, right? Yeah, yeah. That game ended early. It was actually like I ran it for like half of a semester or something like that, and it ended early because whilst I was running it, everyone got excited for this other game I was planning. So like everyone kind of like we ended that one early, and then I went and ran a
I
separate.
imagine actually finishing a campaign. Let's be honest.
But we did.
Rarely
We did. It was the I did the Nick's Law arc
that one we did.
from
Yeah, we
Psyscape.
actually did the Nick plot there.
Yeah, yeah. So
Where you fight the demon skyscraper that is a skyscraper. It's
Yep.
just also a demon.
Mm-hmm.
Rifts is great.
Because Rifts is sweet. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically it's a demon skyscraper, and you Chuck Dave and you basically both self-sacrificed your characters for him to become a bullet in your gun, and then you shot the skyscraper with like pure psychic energy. That was it.
Rift when dude, Rifts is great.
Yeah. Speaking of,
That's exciting.
not to like self-advertise or bring up something else within the Animu episode, but I've got the signups for the RPG one shot list. Does it work this way? No, I don't remember what my command was for it.
Forget my robot commands too. I made them a long time ago, and I used the default templates for most of them.
Jeepers creepers. Here, I can fix this. I know. Little peek behind the DM's
during this, after that, then, while he's working on the robot, after that, I started getting into reading manga more. I had a little bit in high school and read stuff like Blade of the Immortal, right? And anytime I found a show, I would inevitably look and try to find the manga of it because the manga was literally always better. I'm like, what the fuck? How is this possible? Like, the manga is always better than the show. It was true for Berserk. It was true for, honestly, Trigun, even though it wasn't the greatest, right? It was true for just all these shows that I liked, and then I would read the manga, and the manga's like always better. And got into Akira with that, got into One Piece with that, and eventually they did like a One Piece actual show, and oh my god, it's so bad. Hot take, by the way. One Piece anime is trash. It's so trash. 90% of the anime is shrieking and screaming with like runny noses and horrible faces. It's the kind of stuff that you're reading in the manga. And you're like, this is cringe, I hate this. And you just turn the page really quick and let's get to the plot, please, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you can't just skip it when you're watching a show. It just shows you it. And so it was telling, I guess. And it was almost like a little bit of my moving away from anime. A little bit after that, where I'm just like, man, I would rather just read the manga of this and page past the cringe bullshit that I'm forced to see in the anime and just get the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Body anime came out 2 years ago and it was really Blade of the Immortal anime was actually pretty good. I'm surprised because the big draw for Blade of the Immortal was the art was so good and the pacing and stuff. It was
Hades triggered.
One Piece anime is fucking good. You are wrong. How did I know that Hades would love One Piece?
I remember
you're a JoJo fan as well.
I just remember absolutely like rotund dudes putting on the like elk horn thing and just being that as their cosplay. Like the one like twerpy weird character guy. I can't even remember.
I mean, at least they chose to cosplay as a person that has a similar body type of theirs, which is the rule number one that you do.
Right.
You don't break this rule. It's not good when you do.
Yeah. No. So to answer the Rift Stream win, there's the sign up for the one shots. It's technically closed right now. I'm moving into the scheduling phase, but if you didn't get signed up, quick sign up. So I will be doing a Rift Stream. Long story short, I'm gonna be scheduling it going forward here. We've got a few RPG one shots that'll be coming up on the as bonus content, I guess, because this is yet more stuff I have to do because of Rantathon. So.
Yeah, when I read JoJo, it was like I
I
want to say it was
loved JoJo.
2003 or 4, I don't know. And it was like I was reading JoJo manga, and it was at the time nobody had ever heard of this thing, and I'm like, this is gloriously stupid. And I mean, both it is hella dumb, but and this is about the time where the word meme was almost a real word, about 2004 ish, right? Like it was just starting to become a word that people actually used for its modern day thing. And I'm like, Jojo is a meme. He stops time and he teleports with a fucking steamroller. It's so sick. And this manga is from the 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they came out with an anime like a few years ago. And I'm like, oh shit, really? Of that ancient meme manga? Oh man, I'm gonna watch this. And then I'm like, oh no, it's just like One Piece. It's so cringe all the time and not funny.
Yeah. Yeah, there's I don't know that it was
You're the type of guy not to like Black Clover. I've never seen Black Clover, Hades. I apologize. Let me see. I'll Google it while Meph answers the question.
so I knew about JoJo's when I met you. It was like one of the only other people who knew about JoJo's, and I knew about it because, and it wasn't quite an emulation. There was a period in time, or maybe it wasn't emulation. I just discovered like emulating. I mean, we're talking like circa like 2002 or 2001. I discovered like emulation, and we had like we had an SNES emulator that I had found. I mean, we're talking like I'd switch between like playing fucking Max Payne with like hacks on for infinite bullet time and Diablo 2 doing some fucking like meth runs or whatever with my necromancer, my lagromancer, because I actually had a cable better than dial-up connection at the time. And
For the Zoomers in the audience, dial-up used to be an actual thing.
yeah. So I could actually like
were judged on BODs.
I could actually duel people as a lagromancer because I would fill up the screen with skeletons and they would I would Curse of Iron Maiden them and they would just like click the wrong place because they're lagging so hard and they would explode.
Yeah, ZNES is actually old. It's super old school. I mean,
Yeah.
ZNES is what we used back in the day.
Yeah, I think it was ZNES or ZNES, and I downloaded a pack of games. I got like the DBZ Fight Hand game where like you could toggle and like
and the
fly.
JoJo fighting game, yeah.
And the JoJo
it was
fighting
actually
game.
sick too. It had good animation in it.
So that's how I knew what JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was because I'd played the video game. And remember the combo for fucking Dio Brando was like he'd actually like drop and just punch it and shout "Rai!" Just like it was so fucking dope. It wasn't on SNES. What the fuck was it on? PS1. Oh, so it was a PS1 emulator. Okay. No, I just downloaded a bunch of emulators and downloaded like game packs and shit. And that's how I like knew what JoJo was. So fast forward a little bit. Like I was familiar with it. I'd like seen some stuff on the internet, but like in those days, it's hard to think of as like the internet like being kind of gated off unless you knew exactly where to go and like had your like sources and shit like that. It wasn't just like you type in a Google search and then you fucking find like a bunch of like sites with exactly what you're looking for. I mean, you're talking like Angel Fire sites and shit, right? Like just absolute trash hellscape internet, right?
Angel, oh man, I had forgotten.
So
Angel Fire websites.
Yeah. So finding like manga was a lot more difficult than for me for like finding animes and video games.
You had to find true weirdo corners of the internet to find anything like that.
So I when I met you in college, you handed me a disc of Transmetropolitan and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, that's right.
You wrote with
learn this
with a black marker on it. I don't suppose you recall what you wrote on it.
No, I don't. Is it stream safe?
No, it was an arrow.
2000s.
It was an arrow pointing down and it said "Worship here." And it had Transmet and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure like on it, and I just fucking GeoCities. Am I right? Yeah. Yeah. So that was
You'll be needing this.
I think I fucking bet you I still have that disc somewhere, man. If I look hard enough, because there's this little black case of CDs and shit, and it ended up in there with like my original Diablo install discs. Um, it's fucking somewhere.
Oh, the classics, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I've moved too many times. I own nothing from the before time.
similar.
I've lived in probably 7 different places, including my parents' house twice, maybe in the 15 years, in the 16 years since college, and so I've simply moved too many times, too far away from Arizona to New Jersey to Wisconsin to wherever, and I no longer have any physical items that are probably more than like 4 years old, aside from some magic cards.
I've got a couple things that were like my blanket is my oldest possession in the universe. It's not like a kid's blanket. It was like my mom disappeared from my life and came back into my life, and she got me this present that was a blanket, and she got me the wrong one, which is a fun story. I wanted the wolf blanket more than anything. You remember these like '90s like fuzzy blankets, right? Everyone remembers these like '90s fuzzy throw blankets. The fucking orange and black tiger is like iconic and just like such. If you know, you know. All right. But there was a wolf one at the time too, where it had like fucking 2 wolves baying at a moon. You know, like some real dope shit.
Oh god, like the truck stop
Yeah.
shirts where it's like a wolf howling at the moon. It's got
Yep.
a dream catcher on it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I really wanted that, but my mom like got the wrong one because you know, she was my mom. And so it's a tiger blanket in that vibe. It's a black and gray one, and I call it the wolf blanket, but it's a tiger, and that's my oldest possession. I just managed to hang on to that forever. I've got a couple stuffed animals from when I was a tiny kid, mostly because my grandma held onto them and gave them back to me. And then from there, it's just I would have 1 or 2 boxes of my most prized possessions that I've managed to hang on to, and that's about it. Um, oh yeah, the tiger. It'll like it's getting colder now, and I like my office Arctic. You'll see the blanket from time to time. It'll like come out and be on my lap like the end in fucking Metal Gear Solid 3.
I'm gonna rapid fire you some anime from late '90s, early 2000s, and
Got it.
you give me your Julius Caesar emperor, or not Julius, whoever the emperor was supposed to be in Australian man who gets mad and punches people. The movie Gladiator.
Okay.
Give me the
Okay.
thumb up, down, or even you can do this one if you want. But
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna rapid fire. All right. Some of these will be easy. Some of these will not.
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop,
Both a thumbs up.
the movie.
Like still
All
both
right.
thumbs up. Dope.
Serial Experiments Lane, Neon Genesis Evangelion, the show.
Controversial opinion.
So half and then down.
Yeah.
Okay. The Vision of Escaflowne.
That was that fucking
This is the one with the people with big noses.
yeah, and like swords and like it was like weirdo medieval but also robots.
Yep. That is a good way to describe it.
Neutral. Like just
All right. Outlaw Star.
like 1.5 thumbs up. It is not better than Cowboy Bebop or any of the other animes you've said so far, like kind of empirically, except for Escaflowne. But it's so stylish. Like it is the fifth element of anime, right? Where like something that proves that style over substance really can be rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like
It is indeed fun out of 10. Frank on the Rocks is correct here.
yeah,
Yep.
it's
Fun out
just
of 10.
it's
And it's
like
a rocket intro.
yeah, the Rocket intro, that fucking episode where like he beats the best duelist in the universe by just getting lucky, and then has this crisis of conscience at the end where he's just like drinking and he's like I'm only here because I'm lucky. It was such a transcendent
Yeah.
moment.
Because he realized he was a main character, and in all anime, the main characters are just fabulously lucky, and that's why they win. And so he was the first one to approach that from a real source of understanding. Like, I'm a main character.
Yeah.
But it's only because I'm lucky. It's not because I'm good. In fact, if I was better, I would have died there.
Yeah, it was just this transcendent moment for me, and like all of anime, and it's so good. It just it lifts everything else up. The race scene, like the number of RPG like riffs games I've run that have been based on like a inspiration I randomly got from one scene in Outlaw Star is insane.
Speaking of shows that are just a tabletop game, which is what Outlaw Star was.
Yes, it's just an RPG.
Record of Lotus War original.
I love it so much, and this is purely biased. It is one of my favorite animes of all time. It's fucking iconic.
What about the weird sequel with the Berserker guy?
No. No.
No, just no. All right.
No.
Revolutionary Girl Utna.
This is one of those ones I think I need to rewatch because I guarantee modern Mephisto would love it. But my memories of when I was younger, I neutral. I didn't get the hype of one of our friends.
The series was made on exactly $5, by the way. That was the budget for the series.
But like that's the thing is like I'm like
problems with it. That's probably what
I'm like if I go back and watch it now, I guarantee I'd actually love it. It'd be kind of my jam. But at the time, also, I remember just not getting it. You know, like
the movie was lesbians turning into cars, and that gets a thumbs up from my book.
Based, yeah, super based.
Let's see. Ranma 1/2.
I hate it.
All right. Dragon Ball GT. All right. Simple. Tenchi Universe.
Actually good. Well, just the one, not two.
Just the one. Okay,
just
one thumb.
Just a one thumb.
Initial D. Thumb up. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna sense a theme here pretty soon if you keep going this route.
Bubblegum Crisis.
Like just
sideways. I recall it having a sick intro song, but that's all I
like. I liked it because it was one of those ones I saw like via the VHS club, and so like I felt like I had something like like this cultish thing, and like this contraband or something. But like I watched it again like a little bit later with someone who I met that person who like loved it the most, and I watched it with them, and I'm like, we're not on the same wavelength of why we like this, and so it just kind of like, yeah.
Dominion Tank Police.
I barely remember it.
Okay, all right.
I like
Jubei-chan and the Mystical Eye Patch.
It's so kitschy. It was like
this is a Chuck Dave anime,
but it was like the novelty of it doesn't sway me. Like we're gonna go down. We're gonna go down. Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
Fist of the North Star.
Movie or series?
Original motion picture.
It's not good, but thumbs
with
up.
The music video just tossed in the
in the middle, and you watch it on the dub on purpose. Like it's just like it is like it is
the series with the Tough Boy song intro.
The series is it takes itself that like sweet spot of like taking yourself too seriously and like overshooting it. That the Fist of the North Star original motion picture hits.
Frank on the Rocks is correct. That is Hokuto 2. Pardon me. All my memories are going. Did somebody say Redline? Redline was awesome. We will talk about that later.
Yeah.
Someone remind me.
Yeah.
Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, fine. Magic Girl. Like it's fine.
Nadesco.
Awesome.
As in the robot Nadesco.
Yeah, awesome.
Let me think.
Like, I'll give Sailor Moon a thumbs up. Like, actually, Sailor Moon's based.
Oh yeah, that's a little earlier than what I was thinking of. But I guess I brought up Fist of the North Star, so fair enough. Shigeyugi.
Shit. I'm gonna see if this is the one I'm thinking of.
I'm mostly doing 90s ones, by the way. How about Big O? Dude, Big O, good.
Big O,
That
good.
intro.
Yeah, big O, big O, big O.
I mean, it's just Batman the animated series with the same style, except an anime about big robots. What's not to like? Big O was so good. Season 1. I never watched it after that, but
Fishugi Yugi is a thumbs down. I had to look it up. I remember this one now. No.
After Dark Match is sadly correct. That's the headline, and it's almost true. It's not quite true, but it's almost true. And the red line was so good, but so expensive, and it bombed so hard that it killed big budget hand drawn anime, and it's kind of true. It's not entirely true, but it's kind of true. I mean, they came out with, and it wasn't really fully hand drawn. I mean, nothing is, but you know, they've done big budget anime since then for sure. That has done really well. Like Your Name was like a 250 million box office thing, which was like the first non-Miyazaki movie to do over 100, I think. But it definitely killed that type, I guess. What was that goofy Otomo's Memories? I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen Your Name yet, even though I hear. So something happened with Your Name that happens with media from time to time. If people love it too much or hate it too much, like in the zeitgeist, I can't watch the thing because like I have this blend of contrarian personality and yeah,
No, I fully get it. I completely understand. It's what makes you say Cowboy Bebop the new series isn't trash. You have to go counterculture with everything.
It's not that. It's not trash. It's actually like
Again.
it's fine. No, it's fine. No, but that's the thing is like if something gets overhyped in one direction or another, it like steals my brain children. Like I can't like it's just gonna it influences a watch through, and I would rather be a blank slate. You know, like to formulate my own opinions rather than have other people's like if I watch something, it's the media equivalent of does this smell like bananas versus what does this smell like. If you say does this smell like bananas, you've automatically influenced whether I'm going to smell bananas or not. If you say
or the media equivalent to, and now introducing the funniest comedian in the world.
Right. Oh really?
Like oh really?
Well, that's why like my opinion on Bebop is pure, because I crossed my arms and went oh really and leaned back when SJ recommended it to me. Like, and I was just like, he triggered the oh really response. I'm like, fine, I'm gonna watch an episode just so I can tell him to shut up. And I'm like, okay, the first episode's like, and then like the second one, and then it just got like once I got past my initial biases of this isn't my favorite anime, you know, like that just like grumpy like watching the thing and being like, fuck you. Once I got past the fuck you, it's been enjoyable. I'm on like episode 6 right now. Jet Black is legitly great. Like legit great. Like he's fantastic. There are times when he's talking and he sounds like the actual voice actor, and it's just like it is sometimes it breaks my immersion actually. In a way you don't think it would, because I'm like I have that double take moment where I'm like, wait, what? You know, and I'm like, I have these moments where I'm trying to like hear his voice and see if he actually sounds like Jet Black, or if he's like actually acting, if he's trying to do it on purpose, or if he naturally is just that. He just has that bass of a tone in his voice, you know, like it's just that gruff and bass of a tone, like so it takes me out of it every now and then, but like it's pretty great. Faye's character went a different direction. She's a lot less femme fatale and a lot more like sort of like quirky, weird, sort of like whimsical, but it fits a lot better because the whole like lady with amnesia not really knowing who she is but having to overcompensate thing comes through a lot earlier and a lot better. And Spike is the biggest failure. He's just I don't remember who described it in my chat the other day, but Spike Spiegel
you can't have a real person be that charismatic. You can only do that through animation, just about.
Right, and it's the crouching doofus hidden badass thing that pulls off very well in the anime. When a live actor tries to do it, it doesn't read right. So he's just a bigger asshole than Spike ever was in the anime.
He's just a bigger asshole.
He's just a big asshole. And so it's like, oh, I see we have him being like, but now he's being funny asshole, like funny, endearing asshole, like in the sense that I think of myself, like I'm an asshole, but I'm kind of funny about it. Or he's just being an actual asshole, and it just like, it registers differently, and then his moments of sincerity are like kind of jarring from the asshole persona. And it's like it's just a little it's not bad, but it's not my Spike, you know, like, and so I think he's the biggest failure. I also disagree about Faye. That's fine.
I just won't watch it.
I
It's
wasn't
not
going to.
I'm not mad. I'm not upset. Yeah, I've seen some of the cringe clips, but I've seen like the intro to it as well because it just like appeared on my feed and I had to. But I would describe it as, um, and I don't mean this like it's that bad, right? But it's to me it's like the Old Boy remake. Like that you already had Old Boy, and it's a excellent, like amazing movie, and it has aged pretty well for the most part. You just watch it still.
Yeah.
And then when you remake Old Boy, the American version, for people who can't read, and change all sorts of stuff about it so that it's bad, it was like, why? This is it's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary remake. You could just watch the anime because it's animation. It's not like the effects have aged or anything like that. Just watch Cowboy Bebop.
Mhm.
If you want to remake it as a live action, to me this is a totally unnecessary thing to do.
I mean, but that's Hollywood.
And as a live action version of anime, it literally can't be good. There's apparently a rule about this of the universe.
This is
If
where
you're going to make a live action version of any animated feature, it can't be good. This is apparently a rule. And
wasn't
even if it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be, it's still not like good. And the original is. So just watch the original.
well. So I'm of two mind on this. Like I know that Cowboy Bebop live action TV show was not made for me, but I
Yeah,
don't.
and if you want to get new people into the show of Cowboy Bebop, what you do is you show them Cowboy Bebop because anime is no longer niche anymore. You
Sure,
just show them the anime and they just watch it because
sure,
it's so good.
sure. I mean, fine, but like you got to generate hype because all of industries go off of hype.
Sure, but no, it'd be nice to live up to it.
I don't know. Like it's just like you got to
I think
generate.
there are no good live action films, not just live action adaptations. They're just every live act. There hasn't been a good live action film.
No,
Yeah,
no, no. I mean, I don't want to like
Agure, the Wrath of God, not quite there.
Cowboy Bebop
Vertigo, not quite
live
in the
action.
window.
Yeah, Metropolis sucks. Like,
There's no such thing as a good live action film.
yeah, yeah. All those fucking Lynch movies you like, get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here. No,
Mulholland Drive, not very good.
the no, Cowboy Bebop live action is not the hill I'm gonna die on. But I was surprised and I was prepared to like hate it a lot. So I set the bar really low on purpose. I knew it wasn't for me, and so when I watched it, I'm like, oh, I had fun. Like this is fun, and I'm like, that's fine. It's the best it could possibly be. It's kind of like a remix of the original, not a remake. It's like Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails and Further Down the Spiral. Obviously, Further Down the Spiral is derivative and like not going to be better than the Downward Spiral, but it's a good entry into
Yeah, and a remix actually does add something.
right, and that's what you're looking at more of a remix than a remake. And it as a love letter to the source material. The fact that they do give Julia a shit ton more agency rather than just MacGuffin lady who shows up at the end of the end of the series, and Spike's been kind of alluding to a couple times.
When they were surprised your show's ending, you have to wrap it up in 2 episodes out of nowhere. Yeah, which definitely did happen. So the ending
Right.
wasn't particularly strong. I'll admit that.
I like the ending. I'll defend the ending. Like, but that's the thing is like it's just it's a remix. The characters are they're not your anime characters just because the live action versus voice acting will always have a barrier. Like freaking Kevin Conroy's Batman is still the best version of Batman by far, and it's not even close. Nobody has come close to his ability to pivot between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like,
Well, he's kind of become such an iconic, like, known for that character. What has he been doing it for more than 20 years for sure, right? Because
yeah,
he did the 90s one.
and he reprised his role for the Arkham games.
Yeah, and so did Hamill as
Hamill,
well
yep.
on Joker.
Yep.
And for once they had Hamill and
Yeah.
Conroy together at last.
Yeah.
Alita is still a great live action. I can't. Hades. Alita is another one that I haven't watched.
Well,
And
Paul
I'm afraid to.
Yeah, Paul Dini
because
and what's his name? Tim Drake. What the fuck is his name? Not Tim Drake. What the fuck? That's the character from it. The showrunner himself. Bruce Timm. I hate two first names, man. They'll always throw me off. Bruce Timm. I love how you knew what I was trying to get at, Frank. Yeah, Bruce Timm. Chat delay. You're not going to realize I caught it a little bit before y'all typed it, but Bruce Timm's run stuff like Batman Beyond is fucking excellent too. Like straight up
yeah,
great.
actually, Batman Beyond was good.
And
I
the
kind of
way
like
that
how they gave closure to the other series because they were allowed to.
they with the Justice League Unlimited, they gave it a sort of like
Mhm.
a official ending when they do the little time travel shtick. And like you actually get like a little bit of like a closure ending for Batman Beyond that you always should have got.
Old Batman, young Batman. Oh no.
Yeah, with the old Batman, young Batman, youngest Batman, interrogation scene, and they just talk about a great use of a commercial break, by the way, which is using TV as
Yeah.
a like as its own format, right? Like which is something other things were doing the bad way. Like CSI does the TV break the bad way, and this was like what a great use of that because like you don't show the interrogation, you just like cut to commercial, come back, and the guy's spilling his guts. Like you don't know what old Batman did to like get all the information.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to show that. If you show that, it ruins it. Even if you came up with something really brilliant, it's better that the audience doesn't know.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, like I'm not the hill I'm gonna die on is not fucking Cowboy Bebop live action. Don't watch it if you have no interest. Seriously. Uh, but like SJ Arcade, like he basically O'Reilly'd me into watching it. Like I crossed my arms and leaned back so hard in my chair I had to go watch it. And I was surprised that it disarmed my skepticism, which is that's a big ask for anything and anybody anywhere. So that I think that's the highest praise I can give is that the fact that it disarmed my skepticism, my overdrive skepticism, is kind of impressive in and of itself. I've enjoyed it. It's a remix. Like it's just a remix is the best way I can say it. And as a
Speaking
thing
of
that's based on jazz being a remix, I like the meta of that personally. Like I like the meta of it.
speaking of Alita, Hades, Alita's another one I haven't seen because I'm afraid to. I can't watch it, even though
I'll let
I
y'all
mean
vamp for a bit.
I loved the Battle Angel Alita manga so much. I was reading it as it was coming out and getting translated, and I even liked the Gundam thing, which I don't think a lot of people liked, but big fan. And then I'm like, oh man, we're getting an Alita movie. Well, shit, this can't be good, right? And then Robert Rodriguez was doing it, I think, and I'm like, I kind of trust him to do something good, but maybe not recently, maybe just when he was younger. I'm not sure, and I ended up just not seeing it, and so I haven't seen it yet. I heard even people like it. There are faults with it, and it's just kind of okay. And I ended up just not seeing it. The being posted in the Discord on Batman writers and not including Dini as a crown. Oh, jeez. Oh, because you wouldn't count him because he was animated series. Is that the thing? Don't worry, hey, well, it's decent and has Christoph Waltz. I know it does, and that's a fine choice for the scientist man. Um, I saw some screens of the CGI and I'm like, okay, like you tried to make it look like an anime person, but when you do, it looks really fucking weird when there's actual humans there. The Gundam thing where they go into outer space and it turns into a space battle tournament. Yeah, it was kind of shonen tournament sort of stuff. But even then, I still turned the page, just because the art was so good. Dini's written some of the best Batman stories in the last 30 years. Oh, big. Let me check it out. Which disc are we talking here? Oh, is this Meph disc, not Heywoah disc? Oh god, that's old. This is old stuff.
You just what happened? Alita. I know you were talking about Alita. I'm like, oh, he could talk about Alita for like.
Yeah, I was just talking about how much I liked Battle Angel Alita manga back in the day, and I even liked Gundam, even though it wasn't very good. And so I haven't seen Alita because I kind of don't want to, because I don't know. I've seen some screens from it, and I'm judgmental about live action, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I mean,
Also, the first arc is like the worst part of Battle Angel Alita. Like, if you make it past the first story arc, you will get to the good stuff. And every time they do every time they do an adaptation of Battle Angel, whether it be an OVA or a fucking movie or a American CGI live action, they always do arc one, and it's the worst arc. It's like literally bad, and I hate it. And it gets good after that, and every adaptation is the bad one. And
my
so it was the bad version where she's discovered and finding out who she is and the douchebag she likes for a while. You just got to get through it.
see, that's where I hear the second live action is better than the first live action, but I've not watched either of them. Like again, this goes back to the thing is like when I hear too many like strong opinions about something, I need to distance myself from it to watch it, which is why like
Yeah.
I'll see your name.
The best way to go into actual great media is totally blank. Somebody just tells you it's great, watch it, and the fewest amount of information you know about it, the better, because you should just be absorbing everything, like paying attention, right?
Right. Yeah, I
And if
mean,
you accidentally learn too much, it can actually kind of ruin things.
right. And that's where like if like the people I trust, especially like if you give me a film recommendation, you go like, hey, this is like go watch this is great. I'm like, noted. And I'm like, I'll just go watch it and like, yep, that was great. Like or there's people like on that I've followed for a while on Twitter or Facebook that like they've never really led me astray on like good media, whatever that is. Like Keegan and my brother Worm, as I call him. If they recommend a comic book, it's gonna be great. Like I just know it's gonna be excellent.
Yeah, I don't know anything about comic books. I just read the comic books that Keegan tells me to,
Yep.
and so they're good.
Yep.
He was like, read Invincible, and he told me to. I don't know, like years and years ago. He's like, read Invincible, it's good. Read Immortal Hulk, it's good.
Powers Unlimited or whatever it was called. Not Powers Unlimited. They're just called Powers. Read Powers. Like he just like he turned me on to The Boys before The Boys got Amazoned. Like just and speaking of things that I haven't watched yet because people have too many strong opinions, and I need to have my own opinions about things. That might be part of the reason I kind of don't really listen to content creators anymore, like these days, because like I get it through cultural osmosis. I kind of hear what Vince has said. I kind of hear what like some of the big names have said, but like otherwise I don't really like watch their shit. I watch your show on Fridays because I'm at work, and your dulcet tones they help break up the day rather well. Just having them on the
It's
background.
like at work.
Yeah.
The problem is when I'm at work, half the time I can't watch anything because I'm working with sound.
Mm-hmm.
And so, sometimes I have to visually watch something, and sometimes I have to like just auditorily watch something because I'm doing something else. And I end up actually not watching a lot of AOS content really, because I need something more mindless.
Yeah.
Because I can't pay attention to it.
Uh,
I mean, I'll do research to figure out if I'm making a video that was literally already made and probably better, but aside from that, I don't. Even Vince's show, I manage to watch it maybe once a month sometimes, but a lot of times I'm doing something Wednesday night. A lot of times I'm doing something in the morning.
in the last several months, I've watched 2 Warhammer weeklies. I had the thing.
Yeah, but both of the one I've watched 2 as well in the past. I think in the past 2 months I've watched 2 Warhammer weeklies, and I liked both.
Yeah.
But I just don't have a lot of time to watch stuff.
So the Castlevania series season 3 is a slog. I think it's season 3 is like the last and final one I'm currently on. It's a little bit of a slog. But the first 2 were excellent. I'm hoping they stick the landing on this season so I can say I liked it. I liked the series. But and then you cut me deep, boys. Vince Venturella. How's it going, buddy? And then we got a celebrity in chat here. And then CJ Ubusta wishing there was a Bloodborne anime. I think a Bloodborne anime could be one of the best things ever created. The comic, by the way, is like it's got so much style, and but it's not like it feels like the camera's not on the right stuff in terms of like what they're focusing on. Like I think you need to focus on the cosmic horror and the like esoterica of the series, not hunters hunting stuff. Like that's not what Bloodborne's about, Like it. I mean, yes, on a surface read it is, and the conceit, what is central to the conceit and the big narrative they're telling, the hunting and the hunt is a necessary thing, but it's about so much more. And the hunt, you realize, like, this great corruption, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, so Castlevania does stick the ending. Well, then I'll keep watching it.
All right.
Yeah.
You cut me deep, boys, with Vince in the chat. Hey, apologies.
Yeah, big apologies.
I can't watch a lot of AOS stuff. I just don't have the time. But, I mean, I didn't think you were in the chat, so you got my honest opinion, which was I managed to watch Warhammer Weekly about once a month, and I like it when I watch it.
I hope you caught the beginning part of that.
That's good. That's
where
a good thing.
The lead-in wasn't like, oh man, we hate Vince so much we only watch him twice. It was that since I started making content, I watch way less content was the lead-in.
Yeah.
And so I hope you caught that part before we just like, yeah, I only watched him twice in like the last few months. I love you.
Also, I mean, there's probably a 50-50 chance Vince is lurking in any channel
at any time
because he's painting as much as he damn well pleases, which happens to be a lot. And when you're painting, it's nice to have something on.
Yes.
He was talking about Spielberg was in talks to do L.A. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Can't think of anything worse. He would have fucked that up royally.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of hot takes,
I mean that would have. I don't think
Spielberg overrated.
True story.
Big overrated, actually, and his movies do not age well. Go watch E.T. I dare you.
Yo, Jurassic Park is still dope though.
Of course, yeah. Jurassic Park probably the best aged, perhaps, aside from maybe Indiana Jones. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. Tintin was amazing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Spielberg loves Tintin. He loves it so much that he was able to direct a movie well in like this decade.
Well, I think that's one of the points I'd make about like anime live action adaptations or like just media adaptations in general.
Spielberg
right now.
Fucking hates science, technology, the internet, video games, and anime, and so it just wouldn't be good because he clearly hates that stuff.
Yeah. But I think we're in an era right now where the people who grew up loving the anime or loving the original of the thing are now the ones making the adaptations, the remakes, the reboots of the thing. And that does transfer
I wish they were
in.
Geniuses, though.
You wish they were geniuses, though?
I wish they were more genius, had more geniusitude, perhaps.
Sure, but like I can't hold. Yeah. We can all hope for like everything to be better all the time, right? But that's feels like a long way for a train that don't come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So speaking of the thumbs up, thumbs down, Fullmetal Alchemist first one.
Can I say? I want to elaborate.
Fullmetal Alchemist, okay. Everything but the last 10 episodes. Okay, and there we have a little bit of information.
Thank you.
Did you see Brotherhood?
No,
I didn't either. I can't speak on it.
I can't. Like, there's this thing where like people are like, "Oh, Brotherhood fixes it and like it's good again" and stuff like that, and like I can't. That my brain doesn't work that way. Like when we were talking about like how I need to distance myself from things that get overhyped or overhated. I just need to distance myself from them and then watch them when I'm blank again. Once you have infected me with your bad story of your thing, it is very hard for me to watch your mulligan attempt at it. Like, there are a couple other things like that.
And not everyone gets a second chance, right?
Like, both are good, damn it. No. The minute they explain the door the Elric brothers' dad shows up in the original series, it becomes the biggest steaming pile of shit I had seen in that time, and I want the other 26 episodes of my life back. Like, I want them
one of the
back.
Best Step on Me characters. You had my interest. Now you have my attention.
Oh, Armstrong's great. And the part where he like where he fucking punches the fist, and then there's like a noticeable delay, and then his shirt explodes off of him.
Or when him and what's her name's husband have a flex off.
Yeah, they flex to communicate. Like they're like, oh, like he sees the dude and like he's just sitting behind the counter and he's like, no, men of our kind must communicate with muscles. And like so he takes off his shirt and just like flexes. And you have that moment where the dude's like eyes might even be lidded over. He's just got like a furrowed brow, and then his eyes like just like open, and he just flexes, and his shirt explodes, and they have the conversation. It's so
They
fucking
speak
great.
in the language of Chad.
Yeah, it's so fucking great. What like so much of that was so fucking great, and it Scar's character where he drags a stone around an entire city to create a fucking alchemy circle to trap the army in the alchemy circle and then use them as the material he's converting. Bound and now, so fucking metal. And
What
then
about cool guy, snap his fingers, flame guy?
oh yeah, Mustang, the Mustang, like the fucking Mustang or
Oh,
whatever.
and his
Yeah.
friend who knows everything, and he's actually a tragic character because he's the only smart person apparently in the whole world, and he figures it out and then gets randomly killed.
Yeah. Yeah, Mustang killing Lust is so dope, though. I can forgive a lot. I mean,
Fair.
but I can't. Like, after they explained the door, and it's just like, look at World War II and the horrors of World War II in England. And I'm just like, and I know that, like, World War
Like,
II was horrible.
why did you do this though? But
So-
why though?
If I may, like, yes, the real life horrors of war are probably the worst thing in our reality. But there's a reality where dude just tried to fucking summon his mom back and his brother nearly lost his soul and certainly lost his fucking body. Their world is worse than the world through the door. Like, empirically worse. Like, there's a central conceit of the plot is a fucking genocide that is currently going on. Like, yeah.
Speaking of genocide, what'd you think of Fruits Basket? Thumbs down. Okay.
Just nonsense.
What about Samurai Champloo?
Boom, boom, 2 double guns.
R.I.P. Ninja Bees. World War II England. Oh, there was one I was supposed to bring up. I wish I would have written this one down. Oh well, okay. What about Food Wars? Yeah, good one.
I might like
I know
it. I
it's
don't know.
Mojibaz, it's Ninja Bees because that's the meme.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was fly for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Death Note. I know it's 2006. This might be after you were into anime. Thumbs down.
Two just as planned Zinchian bullshit. Like, and the minute that the main antagonist to Light dies, it's just all trash. Just all trash. Also, the whole abusive relationship with like the super hot chick, that is totally being taken advantage of in a super cringe way. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of it.
Cinema Sin version, anime. I don't even know what you'd call it. Like what's the Catholic thing where you say you did something bad and the priest is like, it's okay, I won't call the police. What's that called?
Confession.
Confession? Yeah, all right. Anime Confession. I've never seen Death Note, and I don't care to.
Good. You're missing nothing.
Paprika, obviously excellent. Satoshi Kon, man.
Mm-hmm.
Taken too soon. Jesus Christ. Truly a genius.
Should I hit some of these coming at me from chat here?
Yeah.
Space Dandy. Get the thumbs up. Food.
Honestly, it's all right.
It gets a thumbs up. It was entertaining.
It taunted me with the possibility of being amazing, but it decided to meme instead.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was all right. I enjoyed myself.
Yeah. Afro Samurai. Okay, hot take, controversial take. Afro Samurai, the anime, is not great. Afro Samurai, the fucking video game, is the better anime. Not the second game.
It is the better story, better told, and better voice acted.
Yep. No, it's like just skip the anime and play the video game. It's great.
Samurai, the anime, felt to me very manufactured, very corporate. I mean, it had a really cool style to it. Had
the style was great.
What's his name? Doing
Samuel L. Jackson.
But yeah, it was sort of like a wax cake looked really good. Not trying to eat it.
So
Don't toy with me, Miss Nagatoro. Oh, I see we have some intellectuals in the chat room this evening.
see, I bet I'd like Food Wars because I love Yakitate Japan. If you're not familiar with
manga, way better than the
Oh,
anime. Don't even bother.
I mean,
just read the manga.
But we could say that all night long with a couple of few exceptions, right? So
there are some exceptions.
Cowboy Bebop,
anyway,
I don't think
Yakitate Japan is good though. Fun.
But, like I love Yakitate Japan, or
yeah,
like
that's one I haven't seen the manga for, so I can't be hipster about that. The anime was fun. It was just fun.
What did I miss? Space Dandy, we got to that. Paprika, yo, good.
Monster Musume, the game was better. I'll be hipster about everything tonight. Anime series, boring.
I've never seen Monster Musume. I don't think it's my thing. Sorry, to all the flats in chat right now.
It's the same thing as
Love Hina. Love Hina, okay,
exactly like Fate Stay Night.
Oh, Fate Stay Night was good.
A lukewarm, boring anime series of series based on a cool game.
I liked Fate Stay Night.
I mean, it was like, what are both of those things? And I'm also 12. How to pick up girls in a dungeon. I haven't seen it. It's on my checkout list.
What else do we got here? Kaon. Kaon. I don't think I've
never
seen
saw
it.
Kaon.
I don't think I've seen it. Slayers. Sorry. Lena Inverse is the worst person in existence. Like and I'm forced
like Slayers, but what about Chivas Scotch, my dude?
Okay, yes, but not that it's not good. But fucking Chivas Scotch, Bastard. What's it called? Something Bastard. What is it called? Chiva.
I actually can't remember what the
fuck is it called? Something Bastard.
Remember the main character.
Bastard guy, Bastard wizard, wizard bastard. What the fuck is it called?
And it had a million heavy metal references throughout.
Anime, Chivas, Scotch.
I guess I could just Google it. I'm not even screen sharing.
Sorcerer on the Rocks. I thought it was called something. I thought it was called like Wizard Bastard or something like that. Sorcerer on the Rocks. I actually enjoyed. It's cringe, like really cringe, but I enjoyed it.
Is the red line of Dungeons and Dragons anime movies? I'll put it that way. That's what it is.
It was so bad and yet so good, right? Like if I sorry. What do we got here? Death Note. I've never seen this Tea Time thing. Don't Toy With Me. Nagatoro, Azura's Wrath, the video game was dope. Yeah, sure.
Don't Toy With Me is intellectual patrician taste, but mostly just the manga. You watch the anime because the manga isn't fast enough to come out.
Haven't seen it. We're probably gonna, as long as you keep talking about stuff in the 90s and 2000s, like we might be fine. But you can get back to your list now.
The House Husband is Kino. I haven't seen it, but you have my attention.
I was watching Black Butler there for a little bit, and I thought that was kind of cool. Like, no, it wasn't Black Butler. It was like the anime's name is something Hurry. It's like called the character's name is Hurry. And like it was coming out. There's this problem with like anime where if it's like coming out actively, I won't ever watch it. But I accidentally started watching it, and then like I got caught up to where it was, and then I forgot the name of it. So I have no idea. There was this anime I was watching. Where it's about this douchey little kid who ends up like becoming the bodyguard for someone who's super rich, and it's got that like Great Teacher Onizuka vibe to it, where like this like sort of derpy idiot kid ends up being a total badass. Oh, speaking of GTO, Great Teacher Onizuka, yeah. Also talking about Chuck Dave series.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned what is it called? All-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku. I don't know what you're talking about. Also, I'm 12. I've seen it. Dragon Half. I watched it, but I was like half conscious for it, and I only remember the name and some of the characters. So I couldn't say if good or bad.
So Dragon Half was one of the ones I had from the VHS club. Actually, it was like fucking Dragon Half. I remember it being oddly lewd. No, not odd. 80s, like circa 88, 92.
Normatively lewd for its time.
Yeah, normatively lewd for its time. What was it? Project Echo versus Battle 1. Like, I'd watch those. Like, that. Yeah, I watched it. It was,
Going through a few others, Furikuri Alternative. Haven't seen it. Just saw the first one.
So
First one was probably one of my favorite anime.
so with
Furikuri is so good.
so with Furikuri Alternative, you're looking at that thing that we talk about with like Cowboy Bebop earlier, getting a live action, except instead of just doing it in a different format, you're doing it in the same one, the same media. And why? Because Furikuri is perfect.
Oh, you mean so they like it's a remake, but also an anime remake? So it's like, why did you do this? It was unnecessary.
Yeah, like not only is it a remake, but it's a remake within the same media. Like it's an anime remake of an anime that's like perfect. Maybe you felt it was too
Yeah,
short.
it was a high school hijinks allegory for puberty. Right?
Also,
As an
Sad
anime. It
Robots.
was so good.
Also, Sad Robots, and
For sure, one of my favorites from back in the day.
Also, one of my favorites. Yeah.
Monster Girl Doctor, seen it. It's all right.
Yes, Hayate the Combat Butler. Thank you.
I remember that one. That one's good. Yeah.
I was watching. I was watching
it. Was dumb, but it was fun.
But I like that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching that as
Monster
it was.
Girl Doctor, it's all right. It's like you're watching a PG, edited for TV version of what would have been a cool movie. Also, I don't know what that is, and I'm 12.
One Punch Man season 1 was good.
Bloodlust. Yeah, how did we ever not? Actually, the first Vampire D was actually pretty righteous for its time.
It's slow. It's slow. It's kitschy, and its ending is like its pacing is all off in the way that early Japanese film is. But it's still fucking kitschy as fuck. It's super base. Like both Vampire Hunter Ds are excellent. 10 out of 10, or sorry, 5 out of 7, perfect. Like perfect.
Yeah, 5 out of 7 for sure. Thoughts on Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra? Why is this controversial? It's American anime animated in Korea that has a good story, well told. It's just good.
I can make it controversial. So
I never
Avatar
saw Legend of Korra actually, but I liked the Avatar from what I saw.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is excellent. If it were made today, the reactionary crowd who try to be angry at things would hate it. Right now, Avatar, if you say it in any circle, like any circle in existence, it's pretty universally loved. Like,
if it were made today, it would be a huge pile of shit, though, for sure.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying reactionaries on the internet would get angry because it's too woke or something, and they just start flinging shit and screaming about woke stuff. Like fucking
it depends. I get.
You kidding me?
I mean,
you kidding me?
They the same.
What's the Hunter dude? What's the?
Are you saying the same director does it and everything?
It's just released as is now. Like it didn't exist back when it existed, and it's released currently right now.
Yeah.
Like
I think it would be. I think the same number of people would like it and dislike it.
No, I think. What's his name? What the fuck is the brother's name? Like he has a full-on like "don't be a misogynist" arc. It's literally his character arc is like "don't be a misogynist."
Yeah. He grows as a character. It's
not Zuko. Not Zuko.
Oh, the bad guy, right?
Zuko's the bad guy.
Flame Man.
Zuko's the bad guy. God, why can't I remember names ever in anything? Even things I'm like, I can tell you every plot point. I can recite dialogue. I can like, Sokka. Yeah, Sokka. Sokka has an entire like. First off, Sokka is in love with the moon spirit. His girlfriend is the moon, which is super based. There's actually a scene like later on where he's having big feels with somebody and they're like having a bad time and he's having a bad and like he's like, no, I get it, my girlfriend's the moon. It's so good. No, Sokka has a whole like don't be a misogynist plot. Does the cross-dressing thing with the warrior ladies, gets beat up by a bunch of women, like. The diversity throughout it, like there's so much that goes on into that series. It actually has an ultimately like anti-imperial message, anti-war message that they kind of drop the ball on a little bit at the end, because the whole point is that imperialism is a bad, and it kind of doesn't matter who does the imperialism. But then at the end, they're like, oh no, but if a good guy is in charge of the imperialism, then it's fine. Which is like the limp-wristed, like
they remembered that everyone got to this point through imperialism, and so they're gonna have to apologize for it somehow.
Yeah, moon is thick. Yeah, I don't know. Like they just like kind of like they kind of like pitch it at the end.
See, but the Heywoah chat is infested Mr. Mephisto chat at this point because they're talking about, dude, His girlfriend is the moon. Big lady.
Oh, was that spoilers? Yeah,
Big lunar Gia.
the thickest
Thick boo.
the thickest of waifus, the moon. Yeah, his girlfriend's the moon. Sorry for spoilers, everybody.
Don't watch the film. Yeah, of course, don't watch the film. But this is obvious because you never watch live action remakes of anything.
No, we got more anime.
Biggest girlfriend. Yeah, I do. Roni Kenshin. Original series.
I can't. This thumbs do not
This is
convey
the series, the 100 whatever episode series.
up. The creator turned out to be like a gigantic like sex pest and like
Really? In anime? Are you kidding? Oh
no, but like even
shit.
by like anime like he's like Turbo Cosby bad. Like fuck
Okay.
like
okay.
Turbo Cosby pedophilia.
So not
like
just like Blade of the Immortal is into some extremely questionable artworks, but like actually does stuff in real life.
yeah. Yeah, like just like goes like Roman Polanski like on steroids bad. Like just
Okay.
so it's like really hard to but I can't I loved it all the way up through the Shishio saga. Like through the Shishio
After that, it was just kind of going on.
like it just kept going and there's like a second arc that's like kind of okay, but really it's that through that Shishio saga.
Samurai X is clean, the OVA that
Yeah.
predated it, and it's better anyway.
Yeah, Samurai X is
even without talking about the other stuff.
yeah. So but Samurai X is legit great. Like it's all good. Trust, Betrayal, and Reflection, all three.
Yep. Berserk. Once again, I have to bring up the hipster here. Manga perfection.
So
Although not really, because it was clearly like he was getting better at drawing as he went along with it. And there's a lot of like super cringe stuff in there, but manga great. I've never seen a Berserk anime that even came close to being watchable, in my opinion.
So
that's my hot take for the evening.
Yeah, the Berserk
pour
thing.
Pour one out for Miura. Yeah.
Yeah, pour one out.
Speaking of taken too soon.
It ends.
I can't believe they're not finishing it, but it's just culturally not what they do. So,
but like, so Berserk series, I'm ambivalent on. It's just like a, it wherever it exists. I hear that did they try to make it again, like again or some shit.
Every 5 years they try to make Berserk into an anime and fail and stop. This is cyclical.
But the manga is like god tier. Like just the manga itself, like this. I know this is like Otaku Cast. So yeah, we didn't call this the anime cast, so we can talk about manga here. It's about being an otaku. It's one of the best manga ever written. There's some cringe in there because art just it's always gonna. There's just shit, man. Like any person who was born before right now, socialized before right now, has some demons. Like they got some demons, right? We should be better people now than we were before, and society continues to progress and yada yada yada. There's some sexual violence towards some demon ladies that but not just ladies, dudes too. Like it just fucking goes some places. But it's great. It's thoroughly great.
Here's, by the way, for those looking for based Miura quotes, I have one for you. This is in an interview where he's talking about Casca. Miura, I imagined Farnes is the second heroine after Casca, but I had a little trouble. I simply crammed my own tastes into Casca to create her character. She's loaded with what I considered ideal. A warrior woman, dark brown, strong but with a womanly side. Absolutely based opinions.
Oh, Frank adding context. He was head of the trading ring. Like he wasn't just like.
Oh, okay. From the Rurouni Kenshin guy.
Rurouni Kenshin guy, like just the worst of the worst. Just it's like, how do you? I know, separate art from the artist and all that, but like, like at some point, it's like, especially when they're currently still alive, like when you buy their thing, you directly fund them, So.
Yeah, the absolute patrician, exactly. And this is not the Rurouni Kenshin guy. This is Miura. All right, what else? What other thumbs up, thumbs down? Have you ever seen It's another good one. I'm trying to keep it to series and not
Mhm.
movies, but
Yo,
I
Kiki's
guess
Delivery Service, super great. Watched it again recently because I wanted my kids to be introduced to anime, and like Lily saw a picture of Kiki and was like, "Yo, what's that?" And so like we watched Kiki's Delivery Service. This is a public service announcement, a PSA. If you're a creator, a hobbyist, like anything like that, like watch and you start to feel burnout, watch Kiki's Delivery Service. Like it is just cozy AF dot movie. It's like I know that there's like technically more loved or revered film Miyazaki films and stuff like that, and I guess Kiki's isn't technically like a Studio Ghibli because the studio didn't quite exist yet, or shit like that. Um,
it's for sure one of his movies.
but it is probably my favorite Miyazaki film. I know, I'm losing some
Blue,
like
my dudes, I already said that Satoshi Kon was a genius. What do you want from me?
Perfect Blue is excellent.
Also, it
Two
was
big thumbs
so
up.
interesting seeing a genius filmmaker from Japan who was obsessed with American films from his childhood and like remixing them into his own vision. Like it's interesting watching so clearly inspired by American cinema and TV guy from some other country remixing it and making something great with it. So yeah.
I'd go a step further and say that Perfect Blue has aged exquisitely. In like if you subplant like you recontextualize that all with your knowledge now of social media and like our personas and stuff like that like we put on, and you allow yourself to live in the metaphor a little bit deeper of like kind of what's going on in Perfect Blue. The sort of like identity clash and the public personas and like the sort of constructs we make of ourselves on the internet and shit, like it is even better. It's so fucking good.
Oh, Frank on the Rocks, Hideo Kojima also has the Westaboo film things and did not get the same genius. That's because Hideo Kojima is video game Quentin Tarantino,
Yes.
and as such, he's obsessed with Western stuff, but he can only kind of just keep referencing it, which is fun, but not quite to the level of Satoshi Kon where you're like coming up with something brand new and playing with the idea as a medium and stuff. So
uh,
it's still fun. It's just not quite all there.
Vince Venturella, Kiki's Delivery Service is on one of my top 10 all-time movies of any kind. I truly love it and the warmth and gentle struggle of it. My wife and I have a piece of art on the wall that is uh, every frame from Kiki's stretched out to a single line of color, so you can see the color palette over the course of the movie. Genius.
Vince is a man of great taste, truly patrician choices here, intellectuals.
It's so comfy, like the gentle struggle. Yeah, like there's just it like you when
All
you're
right,
taught
so
to
here we
write.
go. It's time to play. You have to shoot something you love. Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, um, Nausicaa, The Valley of the Wind, Princess Mononoke.
I
Which one survives?
Oh, which one survives? Kiki's. Like I keep Kiki's. Um, I would if it was like which one do you shoot? I would immediately shoot Spirited Away. I think it's the most overrated of any one of
I mean,
those.
I'd shoot Porco Rosso myself, but I didn't say that. So
Like yeah, sure. I meant
maybe
of
Ponyo, but Ponyo's for like 4-year-olds. You can't judge it. It's targeting a demographic you can't even get your brain in.
yeah,
I'm
My
surprised
Neighbor
it was
Totoro
good.
was pretty cozy too. Like
It was pretty cozy, but I don't know. Cat Bus is famous and everything, but I think it's one of his lesser films.
sure. Yeah.
Porco Rosso is the best. Get the fuck out. Yeah, right? Sorry, I blew up.
I love Spirited Away. I just like Bub Soul's first time chat is to be like, "Yo, you just made fun of the thing I love the most on the planet." Sorry about that.
I like Spirited Away. I
I
don't know
didn't.
if I shoot that
I
one, but
I think I was too drunk to watch it the first time, and I just poisoned my like.
and then it got swept up in the best animated film of all time thing when it was obviously not. But
Yeah, it was just like
it was very good. You can frame any frame from the whole thing, and it's a painting on your wall, etc. It's the classic thing.
I think I flipped Nausicaa and Howls and Spirit Away and Mononoke, and that's my list, Vince.
In order: Kiki's, Howl's, Nausicaa, Spirited, Mononoke. I think that's very reasonable. I switch Howl's. I put Howl's second to last.
Yeah, I don't think.
Nausicaa second. I go Kiki's, Nausicaa, Spirited, Howl, Mononoke, probably.
Yeah, I go Kiki's, Nausicaa, uh, Howl's, Spirited Away.
Laputa Castle in the Sky is trash. Oh, I see. We're going with the trash memes, huh?
It's deeply
It
disappointing.
was deeply disappointing. Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have picked on Porco Rosso. I just did because it has a funnier name. Honestly, the worst one is Castle.
My wife loves Howl's. Howl's has one of my favorite lines that I still remember to this day, which is, "What's the point of living if you can't be beautiful?" So like it's
No, they got a point. They got a point.
like, and the fact that I
Really
remember that line so poignantly is like it speaks volumes to like how much I kind of like dig on Howl's Moving Castle. But one of the things I was going to say about Kiki is what?
Weird memory. I almost choked to death on a nickel while watching Castle in the Sky. Would not recommend. 0 stars. My Yelp review.
Never seen a Ghibli movie personally. You should. Like, you should. Just do it.
They're kind of timelessly great.
Yeah.
I don't throw the word timeless around lightly because I'm critical of fucking everything.
It's true. It's true. But regarding Kiki's, like in terms of like writing, you're taught like sort of like conflict. What is in scene to scene. It's what's the conflict? What's stopping them from getting? What does the character want? What's stopping them from getting it? Like conflict and stuff like that. And Kiki's has this like very subdued way of going through that in such a like just realistic way for like every character that inhabits the scene. And honestly, the dub holds up to me, but that's because I love Phil Hartman, and just every time I hear,
they get some banger fucking actors to do their voiceovers.
well, because they was
sure.
partially they got that Disney money, yo.
Yeah,
right?
they got the Disney money. That's why. But Vince Venturella quote: "If you had choked on that nickel and passed out, it would have been a better viewing experience." We got the hot takes flying all over the place tonight. That's what I like to see. Let's see. What other hot takery can we toss down here? We probably went over most of them, but series that's universally liked, do you think is overrated? This should be
DBZ.
easy.
Dragon Ball Z. It's just way overrated. It's
almost simple, right? Because everybody grows out of it eventually.
Everything Dragon Ball related
takes longer for others.
In any direction. Every last part of it. In fact, it's so gloriously overrated it moves into Chrono Trigger, and that is overrated.
Well, I mean, they're drawn by the same person.
Yep, so. That's the take.
Akira Toriyama can only draw 4 different human beings, so
he can draw so many hairstyles, though.
True. Yeah. I legit don't like his art style. It's my personal opinion.
Like, hey, he's just gonna fucking kill me in my sleep. He's gonna rob me with a real gun. Like just shit on Dragon Ball.
It says like Capsule Corp on the side of it.
Yeah, I don't. It's my favorite, but I can tell you my favorite Dragon Ball verse character. It's Gohan. I know.
Do you mean SSJ2 Gohan done to in the end it doesn't even matter music video on
yes
realplayer.rm?
It's because when Dragon Ball GT had like come out, there's this part where like my friend was reading the manga and he's like way past anything that had happened in any animated format whatsoever, and he told me that the reason Gohan stops going Super Saiyan is because if he goes Super Saiyan, it explodes the world. And I thought that was the coolest fucking thing ever. Because when like they go Super Saiyan, shit blows up. And like, so basically he gets so powerful normally that like he can't go Super Saiyan anymore. And like the other characters, like they go Super Saiyan 1s and 2s and shit, and he's just like, he just stops doing it. And it was like the dopest thing I'd ever heard.
It'll destroy the world.
I'm like, yo, that's fucking...
let's talk about Android 18 though. Inuyasha went on for way too long, and you absolutely watched all of it. Same guilty pleasure anime.
Yeah, guilty pleasure anime.
Along with I can't remember the name of it. Some Kanojo name, but obviously it just means girl, so like it'd still be a million of them. Some red-haired tsundere chick, slice of life woman anime, of which I've watched way too many.
I
Can't
liked
recall the name of it now.
Guilty Pleasure, probably Love Hina, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, fucking bad harem anime. Yeah.
It's so terrible that you watched all of it on your Zune, and oh Jesus Christ, the Zune.
Yeah.
Let's talk Android 18 and how she was making moves on Krillin and reciprocated. They somehow had a child towards the end of the
Because he
series.
Dragon Ball wishes her to be a real person.
Yeah, to be a real girl.
Dr. Brief's cat is the most powerful character. I don't know. Yeah, I don't really believe so much in guilty pleasure as a concept. Love what you love, be unapologetic about it, and wear your passion on your sleeve.
Yeah, but don't overshare. Read the room.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that's just part of the nerd plight, though, is accidentally sharing how much you like one thing when it's not
Yeah,
appropriate.
you do have to hide your power level, and sometimes you make a meme out of having one but pretending not to have one.
Right.
Like if you're 12 and you don't know. Bubblegum Crisis, the first one. I can only remember the badass anime opening OST to that, and it was sick. But if you're talking like uh, future cyberpunk, like military chicks and tanks and stuff with like punk hair and fighting the man, I'm in. To rock, I'm in.
God damn it, SJ. God damn it. Oh. I'm not gonna
Yep.
repeat that for the VODs. That's a you had to be in chat gang moment. Like, sorry, all y'all. Um,
Boku no what? Probably Boku no Piku, right?
yeah. Has Outlaw Star been brought up already? Yes, and I'm a big fan. You missed it. I had a whole like tirade and everything about it. Um, yeah,
My brother.
yeah. Boku no Hero.
Oh, Boku no Hero. Okay.
We need more.
What about dot hack slash slash sign?
There's a
I
lot of.
might
I'm
have
gonna
trouble
catch
remembering
some.
which is which.
I'm gonna catch heat. I know
Because
which one
there
you're
are
talking about.
14 different series and 17 different games, but this was the first one.
It's weird because it's right. It's the exact series you'd think I would love it, and then I just didn't. It just like I like that sort of esoteric, like reality bending kind of shit, and just no.
I liked my lesbian love story with wonderful music, but yeah, the series was actually
It
shit.
was so like more like
No,
dot hack sigh cause I fall asleep. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is it's just like
because I followed
I
it did drag on.
I've watched some slow burns in my day, but like that one is just it's so grueling. Maybe now that I'm an adult, I could go back and watch it and
You might as well watch something good instead. Wait, was Appleseed the cell shaded 3D
yeah, with the
like
huge robot.
sicko black singer, a black woman opening? Like, uh, I remember the opening OST being really good, but the series actually not being that great. That's just my remembrance of it. I couldn't tell you anything about it though.
My
My
favorites.
roommate was really into it in like 2004.
We already tackled this, but it's worth repeating. It's Kiki's Delivery Service kicker.
Which was your favorite Studio Ghibli film? Kiki. Yeah.
I mean, on a technicality, because as I recall, it's not actually a Studio Ghibli film because the studio itself didn't exist yet, or like it was being made.
Miyazaki made it. I don't care.
Yeah,
It's
same. Yeah, like if someone took me to task on it, I'd have to like probably see it.
Guns with Cats is good fun. Good clean fun.
Yeah,
I can't remember much of it, but I remember liking it,
yeah.
even though it was weird and cringe in the '90s, right?
Yu Yu Hakusho gets a thumbs up for me if it wasn't obvious already. Tenchi Muyo gets a Tenchi Muyo and Universe. That's probably my guiltiest of pleasures. A lot of people hate Tenchi, but Tenchi was one of those like Tenchi the movie or whatever was one of the first like anime I had like not one of the first, but I that was one of the like coveted ones I like rented, you know. And like Tenchi Muyo and Tenchi Universe hadn't hit like Toonami yet, So I just like when it came on Toonami, I was like really excited because it was a movie I had seen,
Mhm.
and to watch it like unfurl. Um, I liked it. I liked it. It
Aeon
also had
Flux.
that. It also
Um,
had that
oh,
like who is best girl vibe going on. You know.
oh yeah, waifu wars are good fun. Aeon Flux, really cool visual style, kind of crap
I knew
at the
Aeon
end.
Flux would come up, so I had a speech prepared.
Oh, okay. Is it
Aeon
like
Flux is
are they
bad.
different?
No, it's bad. But there's one episode in it that has haunted me, which means it's affected me more than better series out there. Because there's an episode where like basically dude wipes his memories, and I remember it pretty much scene for scene, having watched it like live on MTV, one night, and just like I still remember that episode and this whole like, and just the vibe and going like, oh, like yeah, like that's the shit. So it's got that one really great episode, but then the rest is kind of old.
Yeah, I think I agree. Except I can't remember that episode, so I just thought all of it was crap. But the visual style was fun. Punk,
Meth
neo
brings
punk.
up this pit PowerPoint about Anflux. I mean, it was a
Yeah,
cool setting. It was, it's one of those things where like you wish somebody better did it. Like just took the DNA
yeah.
and just like made an anime series.
Oh, Frank actually wanting a hot take. All right, let's see. I'm gonna need an Evangelion waifu war real quick. Well, let me help you out. I tend to go for women that aren't severely psychologically damaged, of which there are zero in Evangelion, and so they are all undateable. Um, Fix your shit, become an adult, and then talk to me. There's the hot take for the evening.
Misato or
Misato or bust. Yeah, and of course somebody brings up Asuka. Yeah. I mean, if you like a brat, fair enough, but it takes a lot of effort to deal with one. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about Ghost in the Shell. Obviously, original movie. I thought it was amazing. I think it holds up.
standalone is
The
good too.
standalone is actually surprisingly good. I almost can't believe it,
Yep.
but it was entertaining when I saw it. I don't know if it ages well. I haven't seen it in a while. The second Ghost in the Shell animated movie, not very good
Mm.
in my IMO. None of the other anything that has to do with it was very good, but it won't take it away from the original, which was great. Best JoJo, all the mangas, which were living memes and hilarious. The anime, kind of cringe.
Jotaro Kujo, best. If you're asking like
Not Joseph Joestar.
if you're talking which specific
Oh,
in
which
the Joe
arc or
lineage,
which particular Joe? Yeah,
yeah, Jotaro Kujo best. Josuke. Josuke. Yeah. Best horror anime and why is it Devilman? Um,
there's a bunch of good ones. Um,
I love Boogie Pop Phantom personally. Um,
I kind of like that. For whatever reason, maybe I was in a bad state of mind. I watched it and I thought it was
like Serial Experiments Lane is technically
slightly weird.
horror. Paranoia
Okay.
Agent was fun as fuck.
Yeah, that
Like
was a fun one. There's a bunch of like horror. How do I put this?
adjacent. Do you?
Like, well, no, they're like psychological horror and then like hentai adjacent kind of stuff.
No.
But like there was a bunch of some of them were pretty good. I can't really remember them because I'm 12. So let's just say, um, basically a 1970s art house slasher film, except in anime version. That's I'm not saying like porn.
Is there a good video game / fantasy anime out there that just go watch fucking Record of Lodoss
Is
Wars?
this an excuse for a harem? Yes, it's called the Persona series, by the way. You may have heard of it. Canonically, Jesus was a JoJo, according to Steel Ball Run. You could be making this up. I wouldn't know. I'm going to say sure. I agree.
I mean Hellsing. We haven't talked about Hellsing yet. I mean,
Once again, manga's better.
yeah, manga's way better. They also like kind of like lightened it up you know, in terms of the anime, like from what like the content really was, which vampires versus Nazis was actually like kind of dope. And then
Yeah,
like
that's fun. And then when you choose between vampires or Nazis, you have to
you mean
choose the lesser evil to be the heroes, and that's vampires.
yep.
Except they weren't the heroic type of vampires. They were the very, very bad type of vampires.
hmm
But even they are heroes when faced with Nazis. So kind
Yeah.
of fun.
Yeah.
And they way later on they made an OVA. I think they tried to make another series. I haven't seen those.
Vince, and yes, Record of Lodoss Wars was fantastic. I too love Dragonlance as interpreted by Japan.
Yes, it was some dude who read Dragonlance in 19 XX, shall we say, and then ran a real Dungeons and Dragons campaign based on Dragonlance, and then just did a show, passion project, vanity project about it.
the
And
secret. I hope the secret project basically is that, but better. You know, like that's it. That's my goal. Thoughts on Eureka 7? Never seen it. You're starting to get
I've
outside my
seen it.
wheelhouse now. Go ahead.
I've seen Eureka 7. I can't remember much from it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot in my day, and I've forgotten probably more than I've watched. I can't even say if it was good or not. It had some great wallpapers, though.
Shit, Dead Man Wonderland. I watched that, and I don't know if they ever finished it, or like if I got an incomplete version, or if it was like canceled. You're talking about horror anime. I watched that. I was hanging out with my son was sick all night long, and that was the first anime I had watched in a very very long time. It just happened. It was just like hanging out on Netflix. It sounded good. I watched it over the course of the whole night. I enjoyed it, but I remember it not ending and being kind of like, "Yo, what's up with this?" So maybe y'all actual like better otakus than me will know something about that. Like, cause that was good fun, but it didn't feel like it had an ending. It felt like it just sort of stopped partway through. Um,
Somebody said, let's see, most difficult anime to watch, and why is it Grave of the Fireflies? You know, I've never seen Grave of the Fireflies.
not a fan.
I understand it's very good and famous, but I never watched it because I didn't want to become sad,
Mm.
and so I chose not to watch it.
Thank
And
you, thank you, Mr. Magic Conk. Yeah, that sucked. I would have loved to. Is there a manga? Because I'll probably go read the manga because I'm sure it was better anyway. But I would have loved to like watch a whole series of that. It was pretty good. It was. I thought it was good. Horror anime is like probably one of the harder ones to do. I would think.
yeah, horror manga though. Any Junji Ito fans in the chat? Any spirals in the chat tonight?
Mm.
Speaking of actual geniuses.
Yeah.
Junji has lost his touch. I honestly, I haven't seen anything from him after probably 1995, so I'm not current. Spiral Boys.
Yeah, the Spiral Boys because he draws spirals. Get it? Um, this
Or
whole
yeah, the
this whole is for me. I have not seen Legend of Legendary Heroes. Row, fight the power. Wrong type of
I
spiral.
saw Gruen Lagann. This is a new in this chat in this house. This is a Neutron Star take. It was all right.
You come into my
Had,
house.
had good music.
You come into my house and say it was
It
all
was a
right.
lot of fun. It's better than Space Dandy for sure, but it felt like a Space Dandy.
It's like
it
my
just went
second.
all the way with it.
It's my second favorite anime, like of all time.
Good, yeah, it was good.
Cowboy. It's like Cowboy Bebop, Gurren Lagann, probably Razafon. Like I don't know. Like
Fate Zero is. No, I never saw
Fudikudi.
Fate Zero.
Fudikudi is probably three. Probably three. Um. There's like a bunch of like anime out there that would have been my favorite, but then they fuck it up in the last like 6 to 2 episodes every single time, and they ruin it for me. Anime is one of those weird series, or one of those the weirdest genres in that it can do this. There are books that don't land the ending, but I still love them. you know, like any Stephen King novel I like ever. None of them
Like
have
every, I was gonna say like every Stephen King book
yeah,
ever.
like there are films that like don't stick their ending that I still enjoy, you know, and there are TV series that just don't end and I still love them, like you know, like Firefly. And as far as I know, Twin Peaks because I haven't seen the new thing yet.
It's still good.
But you know, so there are things out there that just like Eureka, love Eureka, the TV show. I know it's camp, but I enjoy it. Um, and there's just these things, but anime as like a format is the only format that if it fucks the ending, I will hate the series. I don't know what it is. It's better that they don't have an ending and they just stop making it than they make a bad ending. And I'm looking directly at you, Darker Than Black. Like, I am looking very specifically at Darker Than Black. And they got me twice. Like, they got me twice. Because, like, they fucked up their ending, ruined the whole series, and then, like, it's okay, we're going to make an OVA. And, like, it was also very good. And then they fucked up their ending, and, like, just... Ugh.
Darker Than Black is Witch Hunter Robin 2. Agree or disagree?
Agree. It's so stylish. It's so much fun. They have their own little rules with like they have like people have their little like obeisances, you know, or like when they use their superpowers, they have something they have to do. So like there's the one guy's like one guy's curse is that he has to smoke after he uses powers, and like he hates smoking, but like he looks so cool, and that's like an inside joke within the whole thing. Oh man, it's so good.
Witch Hunter Robin. So, speaking of cute AF main character, can we talk about Ergo Proxy?
Oh, dude, Ergo Proxy. I I own you. Sorry, I have to
Give me a
reconfigure.
thumb.
I have to
Any
I
thumbs?
I have to reconfigure my top 5 because it's probably it's below. It's got to be 3 after Gurren Lagann. I don't know. Does it beat out FLCL?
Who here remembers Heat Guy J? It's me. I'm the person he's talking to. Psychopath. I never saw Psychopaths. Never saw it.
I will watch the fuck out of.
Jamie, I will watch the fuck out of Pokemon and not even feel bad about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Pokemon doesn't even age like that poorly for a very young children's show, right?
Lord Will, the chick who has to drink beer, who loves beer, is the only one who wins for the Powers Cost lottery in Darker Than Black.
Right.
Yeah, and Hiei, right? Like he kind of wins because he doesn't technically have a Powers lottery, but that's like, but that's
Character, we talking Kenshiro, my boy.
Cute main
Yeah, we talked about Vision's Escaflowne at the beginning.
Yeah.
Key and B. We brought it up.
Yeah.
Who was that dude? Speaking of people who get powers from drinking beer, wasn't there some anime about some guy who got superpowers while attempting to acquire beer, but when he got drunk, he lost them?
That sounds.
Is this an anime, or did I make it up?
I'm sure. I'm sure. If it's not an anime, you should start writing the manga right now. Like it probably exists though. I don't know.
All right, I'll mash it up with My Little Sister, the President, then.
Oh, actual, not a joke choice. Roka, Braves of the Six Flowers.
Have not seen
I
it.
haven't
I
seen
can't
this.
say.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. Sorry.
Apologies.
There's the emote doesn't.
Any Yuri on Ice boys in the chat?
I don't even know. Does the emote even exist anymore? Oh, it does. So I've got the Mephisto not a weeb meme.
Yeah, the not a weeb.
Because I liked anime a lot for a period, and then my interest in anime just got frozen in time, and I haven't watched anything really new at all, and I have no idea what's going on in the anime scene.
I'm mostly receded to only reading mangas. For the most part. Is The Promised Neverland as good as the hype? Haven't seen it. Not sure.
Haven't seen it. And there's the.
I know that Miyazaki is coming out of retirement to make a final movie because he's bored, even though he hates it. And we're showing his BL appreciator side. What does BL stand for? I'm gonna pretend not to know.
They show that
Look, a good story, well told. It doesn't matter what who the target audience is.
Huge fucking dive. Made in Abyss is creepy AF, but good. That's at the top of my list right now to watch when I get back into anime. Inevitably, is Made in Abyss.
Oh, Black Lagoon. Yeah, okay. Yeah, seen it.
Hey, Whack Fu
You're
for the
Leaving the
first
Witch?
season
I
was
haven't
good.
seen that.
Whack Fu was good.
Whack Fu. Why is that so familiar? Wait, that's that French flash animation thing, right? Where season 1 was actually like dope. I remember that. I think I forced people to watch that, to be honest. Whack Fu. It came like there was. I think the quasi MMO video game came out first, and they made like a French anime about it. And the game was trash, but the anime was fun out of 10.
BRB. Sorry.
Did somebody bring up Whack Fu in the chat, or was it Meph? I'll count Whack Fu as anime, even though it's a flash animation from France. You know, anime knows no borders, right? And the voice acting was super fun too, and they had some good editing on as well. Last Man is French, but it's animated, and you thought it was good. Last Man. Rings a bell. Oh, dude, this is sick. All right. I don't know anything about it. I'm just seeing some of the panels. A fun art style. It looks fun. All right, keep them coming. Let's see. Now that Meph is gone, we can start talking about how Your Name is the greatest animated feature ever made. And it was still flawed. Kino's Journey. Last Man, legitimate Kino. It looks like a fun art style. I'll look into it. Tatami Galaxy, I haven't, sorry. Nope, don't recognize it. How can he keep hitting home runs? How does he never miss? Brother. So I watched Akira the other night, and man, Batman, the animated series, basically traced it. Well, I mean, there are some famous examples of tracing from several animated movies to series, and it was, I think, excused as an homage, but actually just like a time saver.
Ping Pong is God tier. There's actually like as far as there's some like this really good subsection of like anime that's like sports anime or sports manga. They're actually pretty dope.
Yeah, I just steer clear generally because I don't care about sports. However, I don't care about making bread either, and Yakutake Japan was awesome. So,
Yeah.
hey, like I keep saying, a good
Yes.
story well told. The subject matter might not interest you, but it could still be good.
Slam
For
Dunk.
instance, you know,
Actually pretty good.
yeah, I was gonna say that like to most people, baseball is pretty boring, but Moneyball is an excellent film, like almost a perfect one. Even talking
Wrestler is
about
the
like
same. With
script,
Mickey Rourke. Yeah.
yeah. Did you raid Mephisto's show with the intent to be on it? No, this was planned. I hosted it because that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
But this is part of the we raised money with a big charity for mental health this year, and one of the donation goals was if you donate a certain amount,
$10,600.
yeah, I'll go on Meph's show and talk about anime, and so here we are, following through on the old promises.
I mean, the first 2 or 3 episodes of AOS RantCast were just me and Heywoah talking. So, best sports anime hands down is Speed Racer. Yo, I have nostalgia for Speed Racer. Just like I have nostalgia for the Fatal Fury movie.
Dude, I saw the Fatal Fury movie and the Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still quote that fucking thing where with M. Bison at the end. I'll fight you on your own level. And he like lands on the ground finally. It's so good. That shit is hype.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've got some. Galaxy. Was it Galaxy Train?
Galaxy Express, right?
Is it Galaxy Express 2099 or something like that? Liked that movie. Super comfy. Like, I don't know. Tekken movie is garbage. Yeah, probably.
Tekken movie is garbabe. It's worse than garbage. It is garbabe.
As with many things,
Whatever that Italian thing is, it is the opposite of this to mean what it is.
Yeah.
Frank on the Rocks, you got some Italian going on. Like, this means great, right? What is the Italian sign language for the opposite? Post a picture in Discord of your hand so we can know what to authentically use. The Chun-Li Vega fight, yeah, dude, she fucked him up. It was sick.
Yeah. There's some good bad anime out there, right? Get Backers was pretty good. Like, good bad anime. Speaking of people with weird powers, if you liked Darker Than Black and you haven't seen Get Backers, go watch Get Backers. It shows its age a little bit, but it's kind of got a similar premise where people have just weird powers. And they don't really have like a downside to them, but they usually have a very niche or specific power, and
I love how everyone in chat is just agreeing with everyone else and doing like a Dylan, you son of a bitch,
yeah,
brother.
Yeah. You made me bleed my own blood.
yeah, because he clawed him.
Yeah. Or was it? PBR cited. My bad.
I think I finally remembered the name of that hyper stupid anime, Puni Puni Poeme. I think that was it. Rewind this episode like 44 minutes, and you'll get to the point where I was trying to remember it.
Only correct opinions here, I see.
Yeah, this is basically just what they talk about on Discord all the time.
Mamma Mia's have been reported in heavy. What? Is massively dumb.
Damn,
yes.
That reminds me of the great meme from. Remember when they were like announcing who's gonna play the new Mario movie characters, and it was what's his name as Mario. The dude who was Starkiller, or not Starkiller. Guardians of the Galaxy's guy. He was on The Office too, or not The Office. Community.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt. And they're like Chris Pratt as Mario, and they released the fake press release someone made on Twitter where it's like, Italian Americans, we hear you. We understand that Chris Pratt as Mario is a little insulting, and so we hear what you're saying. You are saying Mamma Mia.
This Bozo isn't even going to do an accent, apparently. Yeah. I haven't seen Heavy Object. There's some stuff we're getting outside of my...
It sounds like I would like it.
Heavy Object, yeah.
It's like Heavy Magic.
Heavy Magic, that's right.
You got to slide it in when someone's naming their wizard, give them a bunch of good ones, and then slip in Heavy Magic.
Yep. Fuck, I still... That fucking
Have you
WoW
seen
form.
Bobo?
Oh, yeah, it's great, with the nose hairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Oh, Discord memes now. All right, let's see. I'm either going to laugh or get banned from Twitch. There's nothing in between here.
You can always preview on the other screen.
Who the fuck did this? When you want to watch that one wholesome anime about girls learning the Bible.
Oh, yes, about girls learning the Bible, yeah. Isn't it a black Bible? I can't remember what it's called. I definitely haven't seen it, also I'm 12.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
What made them decide to not use Mario's literal ass voice actor because he has one for the games? Yeah, I wonder. Maybe it's because, like I was mentioning a long time ago, they put the famous actor man name that you've heard of on the front cover of the thing, and then people will watch it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's why, which leads people to make awful casting decisions.
See, Heywoah hates everything mostly. But I think the Mario Brothers movie that they did make in the 90s was actually pretty great. Like what the
Oh,
fuck?
it's dumb and fun.
Like what?
I'm able to have
Oh,
fun
okay, okay.
while being critical. I just understand what's going on.
Like the Donald Trump is the bad guy first and foremost. They turned
Well, he
fucking
is in Back to
Bowser.
the Future 3 as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So and the Mario Luigi Mario scene, no relation.
oh, the Goombas were so fun with their tiny little heads,
And the
cute out
dance,
of
yeah,
hand.
no, like it was like
And they're
what the
dancing around. They're fun.
the fucking musician, right? Like, cause music and fascism, like it's actually got like a bunch of like huge takedowns of like fascism and shit. Like it's actually like kind of crazy out there. But what the fuck did you expect from the video game whose plot was plumber runs right? The fuck did people expect from like
But
the I
yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't even Plumber. It was supposed to be something, and then they made pixels of it, and they're like, kind of looks like an Italian guy.
Mm.
Well, here we go.
Bob Hoskins and everyone was
Oh, you're right.
basically
Yes, you're
hammered.
right. It was Back to the Future 2. It was not Back to the Future 3. The tapes have been checked.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone was so hammered ass drunk filming it too. Like it was great, great. Yeah, just being drunk the entire time. Like they got the script and like what they had to do wasn't the script. Like they just got a different script last minute. Like none of them, no one cared. But
I mean, just because I'm an absolute stereotype artso Kino film guy who thinks Agare the Wrath of God is the finest movie ever made doesn't mean that I can't enjoy Big Trouble in Little China and legitimately think that it's fine cinema.
yeah,
It is. Speaking of fine cinema,
Mhm.
favorite anime movie ever? We know Cowboy Bebop is number one for you.
yeah.
No one can do a good Herzog impression, Frank, at least that I've ever heard. Comedy Bang Bang guys get like kind of close, I guess, but comes back when they're funny, am I right?
I'm trying to think of like because I usually don't watch just like movies. Oh
True.
shit! Pick a Lupin the Third. Whichever one I've watched most recently, that's my favorite anime movie.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, we know it's probably Kiki's Delivery Service if you're talking about like finest one, but just give me something else, I guess, is what I meant.
yeah, I mean, I didn't want to just say like Kiki's Delivery Service for like the fifth time tonight. Um, Akira's like, it's not a great movie, but I love it anyway. You know, like it. You
It's
know,
a culturally significant
yeah, Vampire Hunter
law.
D, both Vampire Hunter Ds are in a similar category where like I love them, like unironically. Fucking Jinro maybe.
Oh, that was a fun one. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Alternative future PTSD experience kind of movie.
Yeah,
Fun.
Jinro was super great.
Kind of brutal, but good.
Oh, that ending is so fucking so
It is
good.
kind of brutal.
Um, Fuma Connection is the best Lupin movie though. Oh, or Fuma Conspiracy. Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, GD Panda knows because he's a watcher, right, of my show. Yeah, my favorite is of course Your Name. Um, elaborate on that. No, I will not because Meph hasn't seen it.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I can't.
It's just my favorite anime movie.
Yeah,
I'm not like in love with every Shinkai, but that one just hit me. Hit me as imperfectly perfect.
oh wow, CJU Busta, based.
You have
Yeah.
Jinro open on your computer right now, waiting for you to finish your Chaos War Shrine as a war. All of this feels in the same stylistic wheelhouse, doesn't it? Like
How
it all
the
just makes sense.
that fucking the ending, it just ties the room together so well because like PTSD, like you've got like revolutionary like war, and then just like it sort of does the double twist, which is just it earns its like third act so thoroughly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interstellar 555 with Daft Punk, lol.
All right, I hate to cut it off early,
Yeah, yeah.
but I simply must wind. I must be winding down.
Mm-hmm.
It's approaching 10. Started streaming at 1. Had an hour break. I can hear my voice kind of going. I'm almost done with my Coke with coffee here.
Yeah.
Good chat. Any other final questions, comments, or from you or Chad?
Uh, did you see is your favorite anime movie Your Name? Like just legit or
It's Your Name. Yeah,
yeah,
easily.
yeah, yeah. I gotta wait to watch it now. Like
There's
you
there's
just
some
reset the clock.
there's some amazing Satoshi Kon stuff. There's some amazing Miyazaki stuff. For me, I'm not saying best. I'm saying favorite. Your Name. Hits me.
Best stylistic anime, Heywoah. Asks Micah.
All anime is stylistic. That's what it means to be anime. Sorry for the sorry for the Lynchian ting. All anime is stylistic. I will not like not plot or characters, but the best okay, like the
Red line.
best visuals and style. Okay.
Red line.
Yeah, Redline sticks out to me as really excellent. Ghost in a Shell, Cyber, like actually Akira, honestly, because I think Akira started a specific Japanese subgenre of cyberpunk art style,
Yeah.
and so I'd say like Akira for sure, Ghost in a Shell for sure. Mm,
Yeah, the Neo Tokyo. Yeah.
yeah, the concept of Neo Tokyo, stuff like that.
So anytime someone
Um,
shouts
Blade
Canada,
of the
you must
Immortal
shout
has
Tetsuo or vice versa. So
Satoshi Kon stuff, of course, is totally excellent. Probably Paprika, I guess, is his most stylistically impressive looking. So I would say Paprika. Um, Blade of the Immortal, the manga, like it's simple, but it's so classic, as far as the style is concerned.
Canada. Wheh.
Canada, Toronto, let's fight. Okay.
Best scene of dude getting annihilated or gore scene. Ooh, that's a tough one. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of great ones, but I'm gonna go with two of them. So the first one is just the most iconic one in the universe, which is in Ninja Scroll when Jubei chops dude's head off and there was just a blood geyser. It'll never ever get old to me. The second best is actually Cowboy Bebop live action when dude gets turned into a tree or when chick gets turned into a tree. Amazing gore. Like I actually like leaned away in my recliner and just went whoa, like just like I was not expecting that. Like just yo, like it was so good. Like I'm a big horror fan and I like a proper gore scene. And I was just like there are like horror movies out there envious of what just happened. Yeah, yeah, look at that. I had to go someplace no one expected I was going to go.
Anything by Vampire Hunter D director guy has some good classic violence to it. He also did this. I think the first thing I saw of his was Ninja Scroll, and then after that, it was this anime about people like racing these supercars, and they were going so fast, like their heads were exploding and stuff. That was pretty sick. Um, Blade of the Immortal, of course, has excellent dudes getting fucked up. It might get a little too realistic for the squeamish, perhaps. The guy's into some fucked up shit, but
Berserk
there's
got
also
good gore.
like Kayate's classic if you're into that kind of thing. That's got a bunch of nonsense in it for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I don't really have like a. I mean, this is obviously like a stream of consciousness type show, so I don't really have like a proper segue into like a sticking point. But is there anything you want to like promote, put on blast, shout out, anything like that before we get out of here?
Buy a shirt, will ya? Mm, New shirt seems to be moving along nicely. Artist is sending me regular updates. It's looking fucking memey for sure, but high quality memes is what we're going for here.
Right on.
Um, I don't know. Watch my show, I guess.
Old Baki the Grappler was excellent. Yeah,
Yeah,
haven't
I
seen
was
it.
lore videos soon. I'm doing Stormcast first now.
Probably the safest, honestly, with the
But yeah,
lead
just
time.
watch my stuff, I suppose.
Yeah, right on. The prison Baki on Netflix was pretty bad. I haven't seen anything since the old Baki. Like, no idea.
Bakis are kind of like JoJo in that they're so absurdly drawn that it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that specific type of, I don't know what you would call it, like athletic shonen stuff, where it's anime guy trying to explain why something that isn't on the face of it, it doesn't make any sense at all. But it's like he learned, if you there's a secret way of like breathing and drinking boiling water, like 70 gallons of it, so your whole body is humongous, and then like you sweat it out in like 5 milliseconds because you trained your heart to beat at 10,000 beats a second.
Mm-hmm.
And this healed all his wounds. Like the explanations they go through for like why anyone can do anything physically is so stupid that it becomes a solid gold. And that's Baki for me.
I want to see like them do that with like Magic the Gathering or something like nerd based or like Warhammer. I think that'd be great. GD Panda, unbelievable! Thank you so much for the follow there. It's like that classic like look at him decanting from such a height. Like that.
Incredible.
Follower number 1000. Hey-o. Yeah, hey, thanks.
A big 4-dig.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it only took me 8 years to get here, so thank you so much. We did it, fam.
Got him easy.
Yeah, got him.
Easy game, easy life. No but GG.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you got nothing else to say, no final soapbox. Buy a shirt from Heywoah, support him, become a Patreon, do all that shit. I think he's the best content creator currently working in the biz. So, like his stuff. You're all here already. You watch his shit more than you watch mine. So, so I guess this is for like the 2 people who don't watch him.
Actually, I would join the Discord. That's probably the good thing, right? Because then there's the gateway, and they get to see when I'm going live and stuff. That's probably the better thing to tell people. I'm still working on selling out.
Yeah,
I'm getting better at selling out, but you can always
you've already failed because you're paying a commission for your shirt, so you should have like
it's
just
true. I am paying an artist.
You should have levied your like you should have levied your platform to like get free labor out of people. Like, you failure of a shill. How dare you?
Oh, sorry, I live my ideals as a dirty capitalist who feels like you should pay people well.
All right, man.
I'm like Walter over here, right? Actually regulate and have it have teeth strongly. Does anyone give a shit about the rules? Anyway, yeah, Discord is for patricians. There you go. Based Heywoah enjoyer versus Virgin Rob Watcher or whatever, like me. Anyhow, TY for watching. Meth might chat with you. I'm not sure what's going on in the future, but
I'm going to say my closeout, and then I'm going to play a video that's going to get chopped off the VOD itself because it is most certainly copywritten. But y'all need to enjoy this if you haven't yet. So
please tell me it's Bustin'.
No, it's not Bustin'. Bustin' gets around, actually. Bustin's fine. Bustin'.
I know it's fine. I did research on it because I'm doing a 12-hour Bustin' stream.
Amazing.
For New Year's Day, I decided.
Amazing.
It's going to be a Twitch thing, and it's going to be full screen. Like, you can't see anything else. And it's just going to be Bustin' on loop from 12 a.m. to 12, or from 12 p.m. to 12 p.m. over New Year's.
Amazing.
And I'm just never stopping it or turning it off, and I'm seeing if it ever makes its way onto the front page of Twitch, because it'll be called in all capitals Bustin' 24-hour marathon.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I
did some research. You can play it, especially live. It's just you have to be in control of the stream. You can't just leave and leave your thing. So I'll have the camera, and I'll actually just be there for it.
Amazing.
In control of it, typing every once in a while.
That's amazing. No, I did. I Bustin' is the play in and playoff music for when Mephistober rolls around.
Which also means that I'm going to have to listen to Bustin' for 24 hours.
Amazing.
And ask me afterwards if I still like the song.
It never gets old. It never gets old. No, never gets old.
Don't embarrass me.
No, there's the one other meme song I play like pretty religiously on stream is the when the Onion, I think it was, they did their like viral chip campaign, and once you pop, that's great. Like, just that fucking
whole fish flavor.
No. That's right, whole fish flavor.
Whole fish.
Once you pop.
Once you pop, that's great.
Once you pop, that's great. Jack Gang, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. You are the show within the show, the reason we do this thing. Drink your milk, pay your taxes, go sub, give Heywoah your money. Don't give me your money. Give Heywoah your money. Buy shirts from him. Go to Patreon. Do all that stuff. Join the Discord. He's the best in the business. He's the best there is at what he does. And what he does is so goddamn pretty.
He's glacially upload YouTube videos, but stream all the time.
So thank you all. Heywoah, peace.
See ya.
And I've got a video for everybody here. You've earned it, chat gang. Your moment of zen, okay?